How you doing, guys? This is Hybridsteel. Welcome back to Gold Mining Sim. We're on Leaderboard 30, whatever number it is, and day whatever it is. I don't know anymore. It's been too long. Today, if this is actually working, we have Splitintwo. And if he's there, he can talk. If not, then we have to try and figure out what's going wrong.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
I'm hoping someone's going to come in and go, yes, you are working. Because if not, then I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I can hear the worst part is I can hear the audio of the game through the headset. Because I normally have everything running through speakers.
It's a different one for you, huh?
Oh, yeah, this is me. So, I'm at Nighthawk now. And I literally just had to start doing this because you can hear Split. Hey, according to Kerry, you can be heard. So that's all good. So, with the joys of how Gold Mining Sim is going and Gold Mining Sim 2 being announced and Out of All being progressed on, where do we see ourselves going in the whole digging world of life on like YouTube and everything else? Because you're the best person to speak to, because as I've said to you in the past, like you're the reason why I sort of stream in the first place and play this sort of game. So you're like the godfather of digging games, basically now.
Oh man, I mean, I think we're in the best spot we've ever been in as far as digging games. I mean, the future of the digging space is absolutely insane. I mean, if you think about it, right? GMS 1 is getting like finally kind of like somewhat polished and coming to an end.
Yeah.
And then we have Out of War, which is kind of like emerging kind of its own thing. And then we have GMS2, which is a lot of unknowns, but yeah, we've gotten some information so far from the developers. It's really hard to pinpoint anything right now per se.
Yeah.
Until we get some more solid, videos and play tests and things. But I think we're an amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer that came out a couple of months ago actually did most of us quite well. Being like that was the first time we'd laid eyes on it, and all of a sudden it's like people started paying attention to it again instead of just, oh well, it'll come out eventually, maybe at some point. Now we actually had a trailer. We're just sitting there going, it's actually a thing. They're not bullshitting us anymore. This is really good. And that's how I felt. And, you know, what was it, a 15-second trailer? That treated us very well when it comes to, like, just trying to sort of, like, push out as much as we could when it came down to like, content.
Absolutely. I mean, it was and it kind of came out of nowhere as well, too, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, you know, there was kind of a lot of quiet from the devs on the dev front. They've been working on the game. They kind of been in Discord and a little bit on Steam. And then out of nowhere, it was just like, here's this trailer. There was a little bit of staged gameplay footage in there. Most of it was cinematic from developers have told me. But still, it gave us an idea of what they want the game to look like. And that is extremely important.
Yeah, I mean, so from my point of perspective, because obviously it's all going to be through Unreal 5 now. And it'll... My fear was it looked almost too arcadey. I don't know if that was just me. That was the one thing I saw. I just went, it looks like other sim games that we've seen before. I know it's because it's Playway, it's their way of doing things. But,
yes, it did look a little on the arcadey side, I would agree, but I think that has its place in the thing. Now, however, is the gameplay loop going to be arcadey? Or is it going to be a little bit more sim, like I call them super sims, where it's like everything is realistic and it takes you 150 hours to do any little thing, right? So
just like
I don't think it's going to be that way. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that way, though. My guess is it's probably going to be along the lines of more arcade, where I think anybody can sit down and have fun and play it. You don't have to have any prior knowledge of gold mining, and if it is there, the game's going to hold your hand all the way through it.
Yeah, definitely. I hope it is accessible to other people, because with the problem with Gold Rush is when you've got when you make things too complicated and you go, oh, we're just going to try this, we're going to do this, and it sort of gets rid of normal people who just want to give it a go. I think they've got to try and find that balance between sort of like original people who want to play the game, and then they've got to find that new crowd who actually want to give this a go. You know, and that would be the big thing. It's trying to get new people actually into playing the game, because if not, you're just going to have us lot again sitting there going, oh, cool, we're going to play Leaderboards again. And
Well,
that's why
yeah.
I'm not an always gamer when it comes to leaderboards, because I don't want to always do it, because it's just the same thing over and over again.
As far as like competition, I mean, as far as like my history in competition gaming, I've been doing it for the better part of all of my gaming career.
Yeah.
Whether it's World of Warcraft, whether it was Rainbow Six back in the day, and all those things like that, right? So it was kind of and then coming into, I kind of retired from those type of games and doing professional gaming
Sort of
to
same as me.
playing, and then kind of came into, then all of a sudden here's a game where I just played it to relax.
Yep.
And I kind of got pressured into doing leaderboards and stuff because
It's very much the same way I did.
it was I kind of got pressured into it, and it was something, this Gold Rush for me, or GMS2 now, was kind of almost like a therapy for me. I played it. This is something I used to do in real life, and then something that I couldn't do, and then this was kind of like therapy. So I was able to just relax. The leaderboards kind of changed that. It kind of, the whole vibe of everything changed.
Yeah.
I kind of went back into my competitive nature again.
And you kicked us on the leaderboard for a few years.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to play when there was at the peak of the game, right?
Yeah.
Right now, it's not really, for me. I've done it all and been there and done it, right? So
yeah.
I don't find any reason to keep doing it.
Yeah. How you doing, Damien V in chat? And Ben, this is Splitintwo, who is partially responsible for me being on YouTube. So to give you a bit of background, because I know this is like the intro and so on and so forth. When I first started doing YouTube, I was just doing random bits and pieces. I was just doing random games, and I had an interest in gold mining. So I was playing a little bit of like Satisfactory in the early days, and Gold Rush was on offer. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'll give it a go and see what it's like. And I was looking for how to do things properly on Gold Rush, because I hadn't got a clue how to play this game back then. And I found Split's channel, and it was like, hey guys, this is Split. We're going to be doing this today. We're going to be showing you how to do, how to set your watch plant. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then he was live, and I was like, oh, I can actually talk to the person who made the video. That's brilliant. And when I started talking to him, he was like, dude, if you're wanting to be a content creator, this is like a good game to get into, because it's all there. It's all, and it's going to evolve. It's going to get better. I was like, cool. You know what? I'm already doing like the odd video here and there. I'll carry on. So Split is part of the reason why I'm streaming and doing YouTube. So, and he's the reason why Gold Rush became, I would say it's the reason why it became more mainstream, because you had this content creator who was being shown in front of like larger content creators like Dre, Grey Steel Plays and a few others. They were all looking to him for the answers, because no one else had covered this game before. So Split's been there from the beginning. He is now the oldest piece of furniture not in the office anymore, basically.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird being the dusty old chair in the corner. You know what I mean?
The one that no one wants to quite sit on because it's a bit rusty.
Yeah, it was kind of like you with Hydroneer as well, right? So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can go into the Discord now and still go, oh my god, it's Hybrid. It's like, yeah, okay. I'm literally, all I did was make videos. Anyone can do this, and I try and play it down a lot, because I'm not some sort of like God's gift to people. I'm just like, I made a couple of videos and helped community. That was sort of why I did it in the first place. I wasn't there to just, I capitalized yes on the views, but that's because the game didn't have a tutorial. But apart from that, I was like, I'm there just to help people, because it was, for some reason, people couldn't get the gist of it, even though it was quite simple. So yeah, I tried to simplify everything for them, because I think it's what was needed to give everybody a fair chance at actually understanding the game. And that's what you sort of did for Gold Rush, because I sat there for ages going, what the fuck do I do? Where do I put this? And it's like, actually, I watched your video and I was like, yep, okay, I get it. He's done a good job. And I sort of took your style into what I do. I tried to simplify things for people of all walks of life when it came to getting into a game or watching the game or playing the game, because then anybody can understand what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, that was pretty much my main intent. Once I figured out what I was actually doing, like the devs gave me the game early. I was world first streaming it.
Yeah.
And that was, people asked me how I got where I got, and if it wasn't for Code Horizon and the original developers letting me play the game first, and like you said, streaming in front of these big creators, I had no clue who these people were.
Yeah.
None. None. I had no clue. Like no clue who Dre was, Daggerwind, Gray Still Plays, any of these guys. Raptor, none of them. Had no clue. I
Do you
had
want
no clue I was even live.
Do you want to tell
right in
that
front of
story?
people.
Because like I know you've told me, but I mean, obviously some of the people in here probably have never heard it because you're on my channel. Everyone on your channel has probably heard it, but from my perspective, like nobody on here has ever heard you talk about what Gold Rush did for you at the start, and like you didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I in the beginning, I would never intended to be a content creator. I never intended to be a streamer. I just wanted to show this game to a couple of my friends. I didn't know how to really use YouTube at the time. So my first few streams were me just hanging out with some people in a voice call, and I had the game up, and I thought I was streaming just to them with a private link. Unfortunately, I clicked the wrong button, and I was live to everybody, right, for the first few streams. And then and this was a couple days prior to the game actually coming out, right? So with a game anticipated like Gold Rush the game, it was very crazy to see, having like literally no subscribers, but having like 150 people watching you. And it was kind of crazy because people were in the voice call, started going, "Hey, did you know you have this person's watching you in your chat?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm not, yeah, no, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean chat? There's no chat. There's like, what are you talking about? We're private. It should just be you guys." And I don't know who these people were, and I don't really hold content creators. I don't like fanboy over anybody. Everybody's a human to me. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess welcome, right? Like I did. Yeah. How do you react to only thinking you're playing for just the people you're talking to, and then you're really live in front of like 100+ people?
Yeah.
It was kind of scary. I mean, I kind of gave me a lot of anxiety at first, but I guess that's why I don't have anxiety anymore streaming in front of people, because, well, when you start off like that.
Yeah, it was the same for me. I mean, when I first started streaming, I mean, the reason why I'd get excited if someone because when you popped into my stream before, like when I first started, and I was like, oh my god, he's in my chat, and I was like, and Kerry was like, who? I was like, Split. This is the guy that got me, and I was like, I'd fanboy out a little bit because, I mean, even if I'm an older person, I'm sitting there just going, you know what? Hey, someone's paying attention. This is amazing. And that was just one of those like short-lived things, but it does help because it gives you a boost of sort of like confidence that someone's actually there watching, and it's somebody who you looked up to at the start. And that was the big thing for me. It's like, even if like now, if a bigger streamer came into my chat or started like DMing me, I was like, this guy's talking to me. Oh my god! Even now, and I've spoken to some larger creators about like my channel and so on and so forth. But if they joined in, I'd be like, my god, give this guy some round of applause because he actually found me. That sort of thing. It's a little bit. It's a nice place to be.
Yeah, I have a little bit different newfound respect for really what it is for the big content creators.
Yeah,
is the amount of work that they put in. The ones that have been grinding for 7 years, and they've had the ups and downs and drama and turmoil and craziness and attacks, and to see what they've turned themselves into is something I now that I'm doing this as a sort of quote unquote career.
Yeah,
it has been very inspirational to see the amount of work that these guys put in, right?
Yeah, and then you get the negatives
for me,
as
yes,
well.
I would agree. When they come in, you do want to greet them a little differently. I mean, you don't want to kiss ass, right? Because
no,
they are just that. I mean, to be honest, it's weird for me when people do that for me. So I can only imagine if you had 1 million or 2 or 3 million, the exponential amount of people that do that to you can probably get a little. I'm not gonna say. I guess I'll say annoying. It could be probably annoying.
Yeah,
you always have to take it as an aspect of their fans, right? And you want to treat everybody the way you want to be treated, right? So of course you give them the time, you give them the effort if you have it. So it's you can't go out of your way to really do much more than that, because then you're spending way too much time and you're not on your normal task.
You're not focusing on what you're doing. You're just basically you're not even chilling at that point. It's almost like you're too excited to do anything. You have to sort of just calm it down, take a breath, and be like, you know what? I've just got to carry on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think everything that they're doing versus what we're doing. I mean, just think of the hierarchy of YouTube content creation, or just content or social media in general. Like people will look at us, and I try not to be cringy when I say these things, but it's just mathematical truth. Like where me and you are at in the ecosystem is pretty much equivalent to where somebody's at if they have almost nothing.
Yeah,
No
definitely. I
subscribers,
mean,
nothing.
when you compare it against like like Markiplier or like
Yeah, exactly.
Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie or something like that, we're the people at the bottom just sort of like trying to make something.
Yeah, we're still trying to break into the YouTube algorithm where those guys, the algorithm, they are the algorithm.
Yeah.
They are the base model to go against, and we're kind of unknown, right? So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
and the guys that are small, the guys that are super small, if you're not, if you're not on the algorithm's trending list or things like that, it could be a very dark, bleak, depressing place.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's one of those things that like because I paid attention to a lot of like guru channels when I first started. I was just sitting here trying to like figure out how to build the channel, how to do this, that, and the other, and I would sit there for hours watching like Nick Nimmin and Daryl Leaves and people like that, and just trying to learn how to build a channel. And if you take some of their advice and go off and build a channel, you'd usually do okay. You'd get a fair understanding of what's going on. But I've seen people even now, like they're new creators. They go into the YouTube space and they're like, oh, I need to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's like, why? Oh, because I need to get monetized. You're going to be earning like 50p. What you need to do, you need to focus on building out from there and learning your lessons and stop focusing on monetization and stop focusing on this. And that's easy for me to say because I am monetized and so are you. But we all had to go through that learning process of like why did people want to watch our channels in the first place. And so for you found your niche in the gold mining sim world, and it did really well for you. And then especially with Out of Ore coming along, Out of Ore was like, I remember it when it was Bruxburg, and I was like, I looked at it, I just went, I don't know if I really want this, because it looked cool, but it was, like, I think at the time it was 20 quid, and I was like, it seems a bit expensive for what it is. And then it, all of a sudden it disappeared off Steam, and then this new game called Out of Ore came out, and I think you were the first person to like talk to me about it, and you were like, you should check this game out, it looks pretty cool, and you weren't wrong.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who had their channel built around any type of digging games or things like that, it kind of was a lightning rod to a lot of channels.
Yeah,
not only just mine. I mean, it was, we saw channels with literally like 50 subscribers go up to 1,000 subscribers in the matter of weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So, I know you were having an issue with, coming down off of that Hydroneer, phase that you were in. And
yeah, definitely.
I was coming out of that gold rush phase for the better part of 5.5 years. Right. Where the viewer base was just kind of dead because the game was dying. The game has been, it's an old game. It's okay to say that.
Yep.
Same thing with Hydroneer, right? So they're gonna lose their track because people want something new after that many years.
Yeah, I mean, Hydroneer now is a 4-year-old game, and it's still selling okay. Like during the sales, I'll still get I know people are still buying it because of the videos that are doing okay or well or get a spike here and there. But yeah, after 4 years, you are sitting there going, I need something different. I need something new, and yeah, when Out of Ore came along. I saw you sort of start building up your content about it. I just picked it up as well, and it was like, you know what? I'll just see what it's like. I've even with what I've done in the past, like having Out of Ore and the quickness of the views was maddening because I'd never seen that sort of thing before, and I think it was the same for everybody else. We all took a shot at Out of Ore, and all of a sudden it's like this is doing really, really well. I mean, there's a community behind it that really enjoy it. And with them adding multiplayer and stuff into it, it's I think it's really starting to really push the community really well for it, and it's doing well for your streams. The amount of people I see in your streams now because of Out of Ore is really good, and it's good for that sort of that scene as well.
Yeah, I mean, watching my streams grow has been, coming from a place where I was literally getting ready to delete my channel 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I was just, I couldn't play anything other than a mining game and people care. Right. And for me, I was like, I want to play other games and I want to do these other things, but sadly, people want to watch what they want to watch, and I don't hold anything against anybody. But coming from, all the stuff and all the years, all these things going on, it was kind of like, I just wanted to possibly just end it. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not happy, and if I'm not happy, I can't make other people happy and smile when I stream.
Yeah, so, that's called Burnout.
Yeah, well, it was Burnout mixed with, life, inflation, we all deal with it, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like, having to get a full-time job as well. I used to be able to stream like 14, 15 hours a day. Now I'm lucky if I get 6 hours a day,
yeah.
right? So, and on top of it, having to go work my job. And it was a me going to work full time actually gave me more appreciation for the time that I do get to spend streaming and changing my attitude as a content creator that was burnt out, annoyed with a lot of things, and it gave me time to think about what I wanted to do when I was at work. So it was actually very healthy for me to do that.
That's good then.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an extreme positive, and not worrying about all the little things when it comes to streaming. Like I don't care about the views anymore. I don't care about any of those things. The only thing I care about is making sure that people are happy and people are enjoying the games and people are informed about the games that we play.
Yeah.
So, and just having fun with people, like, just general banter, right? So
Yeah, I think that's something that gets left out a lot from, like, I would say some of the bigger creators as well, because I think where we are is like, if you've got like even just 100 people in chat and you're like, okay, I can talk to these people, it's all good. When you get like too many, it's sort of, you sit there and go, I can't talk to anyone anymore. It's too much, and you just try and find. I know you try and find something to talk about, but there's just too much going on, and then I think that
yeah,
loses some of that actual human contact when it comes to an actual stream. And I've
yes, it
always
gets
I've always said to people, I said, if my streams ever got that big, I would have to try and find a way of trying to separate that off a little bit, or having to start something different on the side just to keep people talking, because I feel that you're letting people down a little bit.
I mean, a little insight to that is that, I mean, it's something you have to learn to do.
Yeah,
It's not something that comes easy. Just talking to talk is one thing, but generally when I look at my streams, I always have a message for the day that I want to talk about,
yeah,
right? And you're gonna have to repeat that message 4 or 5 or maybe 10 times, depending on how long you talk, right?
yeah,
So, but it is nice to kind of just sit and relax. And the best streaming days are honestly when chat is talking about something amazing and awesome, and you're not even a part of it. You're
no,
just playing the video game, relaxing. Those are the best days. Those days are awesome. And when someone really needs to say something to you, they'll like at you, so they can see it's highlighted, and you can just answer their question
yeah,
and kind of do your thing. But it is very difficult when you have, 5 to 6 thousand chat messages in a stream, right?
yeah,
Most times you maybe only get like 100, 200, but when you're at 5 to 10 thousand, your chat's moving pretty quick, and you're
yeah.
not you're not gonna be able to read everything. Your brain's gonna explode at the end of the day when you have that many messages to read.
Yeah, that's only happened to me once or twice. But I mean, I prefer it when it's a little bit smaller. But like, whenever Hydra had like a big update, and it was like, oh, I'm going to start a new season. I'd never had like 1,000 people in a chat before, and then all of a sudden, my stream has just gone out the roof. I'm like, this has never happened. I don't know how to handle this. And it was like, all I did was just carry on playing. Kerry turned into a live moderator. Like, whilst that was happening, she was on her computer going, this person said this is happening. I was like, okay, it's going too fast. I can't, I was just, at that point, I was almost zoning Chad out. I was like, I wish I could talk to these people. I can't. I'm just going to have to play the game, talk my shit, and do what I was doing. And it worked.
Well, yeah,
It was good.
yeah. I mean, the same thing with my wife. She does the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like hey, she'll turn around, look at me, and go, "This is the question that you need to make sure is focused on because it seems like a really good question." Same thing with my moderators. Same thing.
Yeah.
They'll DM me and go, "Hey, Split, this question is a banger, right?" Like, especially when I have the developers on, right? Like, we try to
Yeah.
focus, and when I do my stuff, I have meetings with the developers ahead of time. We talk about it. We try to break the ice before the stream, because my podcast slash Q&As are more there just for people to realize that devs are humans, and they
Yeah, yeah,
shouldn't
sure.
be, hey dev, hey dev, hey dev, hey dev, constantly, because they get that all the time in their DMs, right? They get
And
it
in
all the time. They
Discord.
get it every day. And the thing what people don't realize is developers have to give you that cookie cutter business response,
Yep.
right? And they do it to everybody, nobody special. And it's because that's their job. They have to treat people that way,
Yeah.
because they can't give favoritism. They can't do any of that stuff, right? Or else it comes a backlash of BS. And for me, for the Q&As, I just really want to see that these devs are people, right?
Yeah.
And I want them to enjoy themselves and just relax. So that way the fans can get the information that they want, and it doesn't feel corporate, and they can kind of trust it a little bit more. And you guys have seen the Out of War ones I've done, and now going back all the way 6 years to the first developer Q&A that I did with Code Horizon, you know, like I was telling you the other day,
Yep.
most people didn't realize that we leaked GMS2 all the way back then, 6 years, it was like 6 years ago.
Yeah, when it
And
was infantile stages, but it was like
yeah,
it
was literally just drafted on a huge pieces of paper, and some guy wrote the whole script out for the game, and this is what it could kind of look like in this. And it's a nice thing to see developers just relaxing and being human.
So after your, I want after your Q&A with the devs for Gold Mining Sim, obviously number 2, what would you say are features that you'd like to see in the new game that we don't get in anything else?
Ooh, features. Like, if I could pick one thing, I would have
Yeah.
to say would be, I would like to see the world have a lot of, I don't want to see dynamic water where it flows when you dig holes, but I would like to see, because that just torches games. It's not going to happen, guys. Let's
Yeah.
just, you know, but,
that's
I would
going
like
to torch
see,
graphics cards.
yeah, I would like to see, I want to see the dredging stuff, right? That's what I want to see. I want to see, because it's not really been done before and done on a game, which is, this looks like it's going to be a AAA title, so to speak, of the mining games.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, graphically, even though we said it looks like it might be a little arcadey, but it's still going to have that, looks like it's going to have that AAA feel to it, to an extent.
Yeah.
I think this goes a little bit above and beyond Playway's normal graphics as well. Playway's also kind of beefing that up as well in all of their games.
They are starting to look a bit better.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago, every sim game was like, "Oh, they're using that again. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that asset again. I hate that." That was the worst part about playing. Like I've played, I don't know, probably 200-300 really janky like sim games. Every single of them they all looked the same, and it was like, "Oh, who made it? Playway. Who made this one? Playway." Jesus, I need to change their engine. It was getting bad.
like the old running joke was, how many games can we get out of the same house flipper mechanic, right? Like, but I mean, they are
definitely
fun games, and they do have their place in the market. Because my wife loves and or hates all of those type of little games. It's a hit and a miss, right? And like the little eclectic, little cool games, they do have their place in the market for people that aren't hardcore gamers, and they do fill that space very well. And it seems like, yes, over the year, like last 2 years, we see these new trailers coming out, and it's like, oh, they're evolving as a publisher and their developers and their crew, and that's really exciting because they're going to a whole new stage of development, right? So
yeah, they could redo all the backlog of games just with better graphics.
Yeah, I mean, it's they could literally like Car Mechanic Simulator, everything.
That's Red Dot, but yeah, I find the problem with I was bitching about this the other day because
Playway anymore.
No, it's been Red Dot for. I think Playway they publish it, but Red Dot make it.
Yeah, Red Dot makes it, but Playway publishes it, right?
Yeah.
So,
but my worst part with CMS, and I had because I was asking if there was a new one coming out. Someone in my subscriber list basically said, "Yeah, there's a new one coming out at some point." I was like, "Oh, so pretty 2025." I was like, my only gripe with like CMS is the DLC packages. Like you'll pay, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's like $6.99 or $4.99, and you get like 4 cars and a new engine. It's like, okay, that's cool. And then the next DLC comes out. It's like, oh, it's another 4 cars and an engine. And then and it's like, can you just not bundle this all up? Charge me 15 quid and give me like, I don't know, 15, 20 cars. I'll be happy then. Just stop breaking out the packages and stop capitalizing on. I need all of this just to make one car. It was annoying.
Did you ever play Diesel Brothers?
I own it. I played it for about 20 minutes. I went, I can understand why people don't like this.
I think for me, the big thing that I liked the most about it was all the hands-on with the parts.
Yeah.
I liked having that hands-on experience, and it wasn't just a radio menu game. So for me, like, I like Car Mechanic Simulator, but I kind of wanted it to evolve over the years where we could actually do things with our vehicles and break them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like actually go like off-roading and things like that, and then go in and come back in and fix them and have a little bit more hands-on.
See, that's where you play off-road.
Yeah, the off-road game. That was kind of like a little bit of a hit of that, and But see, they're missing all the detail and everything that Car Mechanic
Yeah.
Simulator has. So they all don't share the same thing, right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing with games is you kind of have to play one to get the certain thing that you want, and then the other you have to play a different one to get that feeling. And that kind of goes to what Rasher's question is in the chat, is where, you know, like out of war, you're just thrown into a world and you don't know what to do.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you don't know what to do. You're confused. I have no clue what's going on. There's nowhere to go talk to anybody. There's no town. Everything's more UI based. But once you figure out what you're supposed to be doing, then you're like, oh wow, it's limitless.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can build the town. You can build everything that you want to build. And I think people just they don't realize that it's actually just a full sandbox experience right now at the moment.
Yeah,
And,
when I first jumped into it, when I first jumped into it, it was the okay. So what am I doing? Oh, okay. I've got to dig a hole. Right. Why am I digging this hole? To earn money so you can dig more holes. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm in with this. I'm good. How big's the map? 400 square kilometers. You are? I was like, I even say this now. If you have multiplayer, you just go, right, I'm going to go and build a mine over there. You guys go elsewhere. And it's like, you'll never see your friends again. The game's that big.
Yeah, I would, for me personally, I would never want to play the game and not work as a group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's part of the aspect of the game is mining with a crew and getting that cohesion together and banter together in a game where, yeah, it's a whole different aspect.
Yeah, your mind's. I mean, having seen just people just going around on your mind and you're sort of talking away and doing what you're doing. It does feel actually like it's an actual working place because there's more people there. Like I've played loads of times on my own, and I mean you've jumped into my stream and it's just me sitting there in this wilderness going, yeah, I'm just digging a hole in the middle of nowhere. No one's here talking to me. It's like that's just because at the time there was no multiplayer. But yeah, after seeing you do it, it's like I should just jump in at some point. But every time it's like, oh, it's my bedtime. Maybe next time. I'll try and stay up a bit longer next time.
Well, we'll have to do it on one of the. I normally stream out of war a little earlier, like around this time, so you'd be able to come in for at least like a couple hours at least, right? So
yeah, that's cool.
We'll have to get Hybrid into the saving and show them what it's all about, boys.
I've watched it. I've just said I wouldn't even care if I'm running a rock truck. I'm fine. I mean, you're going to see some stupid driving because I have problems. Like
I don't know. I think we have plenty of stupid driving. Have you seen these guys? They drive backwards half the time. Like it makes my dyslexia and everything just go bonkers because I'll pull up to the drive site and they're going backwards and we're supposed to be going this way and then they back up and I just rhyme into them and I'm like, wait, was I the one that was the problem?
You'll give up your spot for me? Nah, dude. I mean, I'll jump in when I can, long hauler. Don't worry. But yeah, I'll jump in at some point. It's just when this season started, I don't know how long because obviously with Gold Mining Sim 2 coming out, I don't know how long this is going to keep me going now because. Obviously, I mean, I'm sort of trying to change the channel, going to like live streaming a bit more, doing this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, I could probably do this. I'm probably looking at one or more 2 seasons worth of this one. So I'll probably do one mid-year, one end of year, and then maybe a last playthrough from start to beginning. But that's literally it now. Because of a new game coming out, it pushes me to: do I really want to do this anymore, or should I just wait? And I think that's my whole thing now. I mean, it was the same with Hydroneer. Like, that's finished now. I've ended that. I've deleted it off my hard drive. I don't have it anymore because I finished it. I don't need to play it anymore. It's the same with this, really.
Well, it's the same way I felt about this as well too. Love the game, always have loved the game, but it's like I've done everything, been there, done it.
Yeah.
You know, don't have anything to prove to anybody. Just kind of want to hang back and chill and just play the game and have fun. On like normal mode or whatever, just like, you know, just a good couple playthroughs before, you know, GMS2 hits, because let's be honest, for me, I'm not going to be playing version 1 anymore after GMS2 comes out. Yeah. There's no reason. I've done it. I mean, I got like 22,000 hours in this game. Most of it's testing hours, but I think I have like 4,000 hours of streamed out or 3,000 hours of streaming hours. So
that's a lot, man.
It's just insane. Like I've been there, done it. There's no need for it. It's just, you know, it's for now. It's crazy to see how much. It's crazy to see how many people came back to watch and want to watch me just play normal mode for fun.
Yeah.
And you know that was so I have plenty more of that coming up. It's just I have a lot more other things that I have to take care of
Life.
and comment. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, things can't really talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a lot of things that you know, being a kind of like a developer in a sense as well, knowing Unreal 5 and some of these other companies that I help out, and not just GMS or not just Out of War. There's other games too that I enjoy that I don't have on my channel, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of just help them out because I do know Unreal 5, I do know these programs and stuff, and that takes a lot of time. And sometimes I don't get to make videos now.
No, making videos it's a long. In fairness, it's a long drawn out process that you get to a point where sometimes like, I really want to do this. I want to do this. I want to, and you'll make the videos. You make the videos, and the worst part is because you've spent so long putting time into it, you'll get bored. You'll draw yourself out, and then you'll drain yourself completely. And that you'll suffer from burnout. That's what happened to me with CMS. Like my workload for Car Mechanic Simulator, because I bought the 2018 guide in like really late into its life, and I made it. I was like, but people are watching this. This is pretty cool. So when 2021 came out, I was like, I'm going to build the guide for this game. So within the day from launch, I'd finished the whole game in 3 days. I'd recorded every single like special car that you had to repair for a mission, and the guide was out for 3 weeks. I within three weeks I'd released every single video, and it was the complete guide to CMS. And after that, I was just like, okay, I want to build a series. I was going to do like a Gas Monkey garage style thing. So we'll go to the junkyard, pick up a car. I did that for a little bit, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just couldn't physically. I've tried to go back to it. I've even done a live stream where I'm like, back to the garage. Like that live stream lasted, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm fucking done. And that's the worst part. Burnout kills your momentum to do anything. And
well, the thing is,
sucks.
I think one thing that people don't understand as viewers is that when we backlog content, we can be burned out before the episode even goes live. The first one.
Yeah.
Right. And then when we're doing a live stream, we're just gutted.
Yeah.
Right? And we're just like, you're sitting there like, this game is in here.
Yeah, the first video drops. Guys, I'm playing this brand new game. It's amazing. Check me out on the live stream going out today. I don't care anymore. I'm done.
What is this game and why am I playing it?
Yeah, that's happened. I even do the occasional like first time thing. So I live stream my first reactions. I think it was called Drive Through Sim or something like that, and I sat there and went, this game is shit. Like live, I was like, I don't want to play this. This is horrible. And I spent an hour and 45 minutes sitting there going, I hate this game. I don't like it. I haven't turned it on since.
Well, that's why I stopped taking contracts for games and stuff like that, because like it's I'd rather just give my honest opinion and not care about it. Like just nope, I'm not dealing with this. Not happening.
I was talking to Diesel Designs about this. Well, he was talking to it during his live stream, so I was talking to him in his chat, and he goes, "Dude, I get so many games, developers going, hey, can you play this game for me? Can you play this game? Show the game off? All right, cool, I'll play the game." And I message back to the developer going, you need a new game because this is shit. And then I just leave it at that. And he goes away from the developer. It's like, they don't put the work in. And then when they do, it comes out as like a half-assed game. And there are too many. I would say that the gaming is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. The bad thing would be that too many developers bring games out that are not completed or nobody wanted, and that's the worst one. Like you'll see,
there's there was no need for it. It's like inventing something that nobody needs.
Yeah,
like no one's gonna care, and it's just gonna kind of get bought up. But I mean, if they're making money, they're gonna keep doing it, right? So they're obviously making money. They're getting those. They're getting mush brain buyers, right? It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Same thing as well. Like developers will message me and they'll be like, "Hey, can you play my game and give it a positive review and positive this?" And I'm like, "Well, if it's positive to do, I will. But if it's not, I'm not going to. Are you okay with that?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. But make sure you're positive." And I said, "Okay, obviously you didn't hear what I said. I said I'm going to give it an honest review, and if it's garbage, I'm gonna say, hey, this is garbage, but it might be fun for this person or this person or this person."
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't mean it's gonna be garbage for everybody, because some games are like that, right? Some games are like, it may not be good for me and you, but somebody else just may love it because they just want to do that really easy gameplay loop that is
Oh yeah, definitely.
click point, click point, click point. And I think one of those games that is like that is, and I'll bring this one up, and it came off like a wildfire, was TCG, right?
Yeah, man,
It,
that was amazing.
yeah, it's very stupid, simplistic, but everybody just loves it for what it is. And
I
that's a prime example of something that was needed, but not really, but it just took off.
I played the demo for it live, and I sat there in front of, I think there was maybe 20, 30 people in my stream, and I played the demo, and this sort of looks like Supermarket Sim, so we'll give it a go, because obviously Supermarket Sim weirdly was this, it was this strange thing that came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden there's millions of people playing it. I didn't understand the phenomenon. I bought the game myself. I went, well, it's all right, isn't it? But then like, the game loop was the reason why people got into it in the first place. And then when
Yes.
TCG came out, I sat there in that live stream. I went, this is going to be the next Supermarket Sim game. And I've found that quite, it's in that stream that I did the first look. And I sat there and went, it's addictive, because you're constantly opening cards. You want to get like the next pack. You, even if you just play in the game just to open packs, that's why you'll play that game. And I wasn't mistaken. Every single person who plays that game is like, I'm addicted to opening packs. And there's so many cards to collect.
And to go back to the whole Gold Rush experience on that note, that's what the wash plants and the buckets and the clean out system and things like that offer. And to even go even further back into the conversation, that's where I hope GMS 2 stays true to the original GMS feeling and experience, just upgraded and overhauled. And because if so, the game, it's just not going to be needed, like we just said, right? I mean, we all want it to succeed and do great and do well, but it's got to hold true to the original to an extent, right? So that's that. And I think that's a lot of our I think from what I noticed in all the comments that I've gotten over since that the trailer came out, the 15-second trailer.
Yep.
That's what people are worried about. Is people are worried about, why are they actually making this game? Is it just a money grab? Are they going to do, is the same thing going to happen that happened before? Is it going to feel like the old game? And their fears aren't, how would they put it? Their fears aren't, should not just be looked past, because, you know, there is always that concern.
Yeah, they can be justified.
Things might happen. Yeah, they can be justified. Same thing as console players, you know, feeling bamboozled, right?
Oh, I feel sorry for them right now.
I do. I feel sorry for console players as well, you know, and because you know, they've been waiting for what now, 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, 3 years, and there really wasn't. And then the first major update that happened broke the game even worse, right? So then they've been kind of just sat there and left, and that's not the new devs' fault. It's just bad circumstances, right? So they're all like sitting there going, well, we don't care about GMS2 at all because we've been burned for 3 years.
Yep.
Right. So let's
my dad's one of those people.
Good for him. Your dad's one of those people.
My dad he played Gold Rush on PS4. He's now got it on his PS5, and he enjoyed just sitting there digging. Doesn't care. He's just happy in his own little world. And he goes, oh, I can't, you know, console players, this is the point before the update, they went, oh, I can't get golden nuggets. I went, well, you just drill for them, you get them. He goes, no, they're not in the console. I went, what do you mean? He goes, look, you're going to have to buy it yourself, or like come up when you come around next time, I'll show you. Literally, they were drilling and it was no nuggets, no nothing. I was like, this sucks. This really...
We added drilling for nuggets originally because people were complaining that they couldn't even compete in the seasonal leaderboard as a casual player. Right. Really good, really amazing players, right? Absolutely amazing. They can push, you know, 5,000 to 6,000 yards a day back when there was no big giant excavator, but they just didn't have the time to commit into getting to the meta. Right, and getting everything set up, all the workers and things like that, without exploiting and things like that. So the devs were like, Split, what do you think about adding a catch-up mechanic? And I was like, well, how are you going to do it that doesn't make it seem like dumb, right? So we spitballed some ideas, and eventually they were like, well, what about just drilling for nuggets? And I was like, I mean, I guess it's going to be boring, though. It's going to be a snooze fest.
Yeah.
Right? But that unfortunately came in right after they sent the save out to be ported to console. So that's why it didn't get put into to console. It was literally like a 3 2 or 3 week difference between it getting onto console and not.
That's
So
bad,
it was
isn't it?
yeah, it was a bummer. And you know, as far as my experience on PS5 playing it, when the devs had me come out and do an appearance on the leaderboards, and they, you know, they're like, can you come out and, you know, promote it a little bit? And I was like, sure, no problem, let's do this. And it was I only had a few bugs pop up and an out of vehicle lag when you're turning your camera, right? But that was not really lag, that was more just a camera clipping issue, right? So it was I didn't have that horrible of an experience playing the leaderboards. It was just kind of but the lesser consoles, you know, the ones that are like they lock you to, you know, what is it, the Xbox Series, whatever.
Yeah.
Or those guys were having some massive issues with performance and stuff. So yeah, I'd say it's a tough one. It's a really tough one getting these games certified to go to console performance. They don't get all the stuff that we get. They have to almost build a whole different game, and you know, that's kind of what we're seeing right now, right?
Yeah, that's one of the big. Like, whenever anyone ever mentions multiplayer, I throw my toys at the pram at that one. I had it so much during like the first. When I think it was Leaderboard 33, I came online, and every person who jumped in was like, "Oh, dude, but this game would be amazing if it was multiplayer." And I was like, "Do you know how much work it would take to add multiplayer?" Oh, no, they just need to add it. I was like, "No, they." And every single after that, I was just like, "No, you're going to the tailings pile for asking stupid questions." And it was just this imaginary thing I had. I was like, if you come into my stream and talk about it, I was like, no, don't talk about multiplayer. You're going to the tailings pile. I'll time you out for 5 minutes. I'm not talking to you. I didn't want to keep repeating myself.
But, yeah, I mean, I got that for years, right? It was just like, Split, they should do multiplayer. Or you should help them do multiplayer. Yeah, you pretty much had them put in leaderboards, and you pretty much had them put in hard mode and all these things that we weren't originally supposed to get with the game. Like, most people don't realize that we weren't supposed to get ST nugget trap, right?
Yeah,
that was all something that we designed after the fact, and they weren't even going to put in, because you have to think, like, the game was designed around the TV show, right?
Yeah.
And it was designed around the seasons of the TV show. So they were going to be putting out DLCs for almost every season, because every season had something cool and unique and awesome to it, right? So like season 2, we saw Fred Hurt come in with the D-Rocker, right?
Yep.
And then in the very first Shaker deck in that wash plant with one duplex jig was added, because that's what their wash plant was on the first season, right? So they were slowly adding these things in, but just chaos, right? And they kind of got thrown out of that loop, and then it was just, let's rush everything out because of things happen with Discovery Channel and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah, I think that's when I talk about this game, I sit and go, if you look at the first sort of like the incarnation of the game, where you had like the Shaker deck, and then you had the D-Rocker come in. I was like, if you just watch Gold Rush for the first like couple of seasons, that's all the equipment they used in the show, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, and there was no evolution, no nothing. I was like, oh, it's disappointing, but I can, you know, it comes down to like funding and stuff as well.
Well, I think that's also when all the other games from Discovery got imploded as well.
Yeah,
it was around the 2-3 year mark of Discovery games pushing out there. Nobody knows, obviously, and I'm not going to dig for the extra information. No. You know what I mean? So, because it's not needed. But all the games, you know, came out, like you have Deadliest Catch, all those games just magically went poof, right? Like,
yeah, there was no extra to it. There was no teams working on it anymore. They all just died.
Yeah, it just went out of nowhere, and these were hugely anticipated games, right?
Yeah.
Like, Deadliest Catch was one of those games too that if it would have just kept going, you know, being on the boat and like working with the cranes and all those things was super fun, and it would have been huge if they would have just added more of a world element to it.
Yeah.
Right. And it just kept going with it, and maybe took away that super simple mechanic of like the clean, like doing the clean outs of the pots was even kind of cool. Very mundane, same thing over and over again. But like we were talking about with TCG, that's what people want. A lot of players.
Yeah, it's
that very easy, arcadey, fun, relaxing feel.
It's a very strange sort of area to get into when it comes to sim gaming.
It's like
I prefer to do
thing.
yeah, I prefer to do little tasks, or I do this. Like Gold Rush for me is ideal because I'm filling up, or I'm digging, or I'm dealing with the wash plant. This and I'm fine. But if you're playing a game for too long and there's nothing happening, you get bored. It's why I addressed this in a comment the other day, and I put it into my live stream. I said the reason why I do like 3 to 4 hour streams, or maybe like 2 to 4 hour streams, is because after 4 hours I get bored, or I turn into a zombie, and the viewer gets bored because I'll sit there with my eyes open, mouth hanging out, like drool hanging down my t-shirt. I just turn into a zombie, and no one cares anymore. So I try and keep them shorter because it keeps other people's attention spans going a bit better.
I mean, that's why I don't have a camera. I don't want people to see my drool rag, you know? I gotta have a bib, dude,
bib.
zoned out half the time, like, you know.
Right, have a go down.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one thing that I've been saying since Out of War came out is my number one question is Split. Which game's better?
Oh, yeah, I still get that now.
You can't even compare them. They're two different games, but they're in the same genre.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't. I mean, they're not comparable. You should play both because they're both uniquely different to mining. If you enjoy mining games, you should be playing both. If you're not playing both, you're missing out on the aspect of both games and what the great things that they have to offer. Like, a lot of people ask me lately, Split, why don't you guys build anything anymore? Why don't you guys do this in Out of War? Well, because we've already done it, and building is kind of more of a single player thing, really, honestly. And you can do like project works and things like that, but that's very limited, and people have to be extremely good, and there's a lot of people standing around.
Yeah.
I was talking about this with Grumpy yesterday. I said the true meat and potatoes of Out of War is working together from scratch to build a big giant mine. That is where that's where the oomph is. That's where the heck yeah, hell yeah factor comes from, right? And GMS is completely different. GMS
Definitely.
is all about that wash plant loop, like you're saying. It's all about that. That is the bread and butter of GMS, and it always has been. Because I remember the one motto that the old dev team had when they were building this game was right on their giant white. They had nothing should feel like farm sim was their main motto when building this game. No palletized systems, no inventory, no nothing, no farm sim like anything mechanics. Right. That was their main thing when they were building the game. And anybody who suggested anything like that, it was an automatic no. Because it was, and look what we have today. This is what I never understood about people bagging on GMS was it has game mechanics in it that farm sim and stuff like that, and these other games still have yet to figure out.
Yeah.
Right. And like 7 years ago, you didn't see games having extendable cables and power systems and water systems and all these things, right? Like seasons, they weren't really there. And this game kind of just pushed it all out, right? All in one, not really all in one, but over a period of about 2 years.
Yeah, I find it funny with farming sim. I'd never really got into it until this year actually, because I wasn't going to play it. Then all of a sudden I was like, everyone's playing Farming Sim 25. I'll play 22 and see what the whole hoo-ha was about. And I'd got it for, I think I bought it for cheap off of somewhere or got it for free. I can't remember now. And I was like, you know what, I'll give it a go, see what happens. And then all of a sudden, like, someone's bought me a copy of the game and was like, you need to play this one. I was like, why? And then I'd spent 6 hours trying to teach myself how to play the game. And I was like, yeah, okay, I can understand this. Is there a gold mining function to this? And my friend was like, yeah, there's a modder who basically mods gold mining sim stuff into farming sim. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole gold mining community inside a farming game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they it's pretty cool to see what they do. I think it's RCG. I think it's the guys that do. They have like Slucifer and things like that. And then there's FS Miner and there's so many other communities, right, that do simulation and farm sim because that's what they like and that's what they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And you can't mod in these other games either, right? So it's good for them to keep something going that's different, and you can see that they're trying to push it into being mainstream farm sim. So hopefully it works out for them. But my biggest limitation for that, the ground deformation is extremely lacking, right?
Yeah, it does need work.
Yeah, so but that's limited to the engine, and the modders can't really change that. That's the main downside. It just feels like you're pushing around gray silage. You know, like that's realistically what it is, right? Like, so yeah, it's cool to see them put in the amount of work that they put in on these mods and stuff, though.
Yeah.
Like RC, I think RGC. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. What the name of things? RG something like that. It's their work on whoever modeled Slucifer and stuff like that. Amazing job, absolutely amazing. Like I wish we had that in GMS, right? Like or out of ore, right? Like
I'm hoping that maybe when it comes to Gold Mining Sim 2, they do go, oh yeah, I mean we could look into the model. Obviously they, in order to do the model perfectly, they'd have to get like a license for it or something, so they can make their own version maybe. But yeah, they need to look at how mining equipment has evolved in this, almost like as it's gone through the years. They need to look at it and just go, okay, we need to look at this, and this, and maybe bring in some of that modern equipment into our game as well.
how long are you gonna fill up that rock chat truck?
I'm getting rid of the overburden by cheating the game. This is what people do.
No, I knew what you were doing. I was laughing at chat.
It's because I think I've got like 3 meters left of overburden, and I don't want to use the bulldozer anymore. So
yeah, it gets a little. The bulldozer gets a little.
We need a bigger bulldozer. I've been saying that for years. We need like a D20 or a stick of dynamite.
D20. we need this imaginary dozer.
Yeah, just something so big it hasn't been invented yet. Just bring it out and roll it for the whole claim. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's.
We need a bigger boat. Yes, definitely.
Oh, that's like Michael was saying on the Q&A. He's like, I don't know if we can get anything bigger. It might cause a little too much lag.
Oh yeah, because someone was talking about getting the Bagger 288 on the claim. I'm like, dude, that thing's massive. I run that. I've been on the. Have you ever played Fallout 76?
Yeah.
So they've got the Bagger in the soot zone down in the bottom left, and you sit there and just go, "Is this real?" It's like, yeah, this thing's real. This is a Bagger 288. It's huge. People live on it. It's a house. It's an entire city.
What people don't realize is they're like, oh, put it into GMS. But if you think about it, if you try to put that on this claim right here, just the tracks would take up the whole area. Just the tracks.
It's huge.
Like the scale is absolutely insane. And even in out of ore, it's so big that if you tried to make it work like all the other equipment, the game would just lag out.
Yeah.
So you have to develop a whole new thing around it, and do it from the beginning, or else it's just going to be.
I think it's because some people see pictures of it and you just go, oh, okay, it's not that big. And then when you see it compared to real life, like either in person or find a picture comparing it to like the biggest made machine of the biggest dump truck, you go, oh, that's why it's not in a game. It's huge.
Yeah, it's and people don't understand the scale of it. They think it's just like, oh, hey, build this model and throw it in the game and it'll work just fine. It's like, well, I wish developing work that was that easy, right? Like, the logistics of moving that many voxels at one time alone is crazy, right? Like, and the same thing with this game. You get a bigger dozer, it may not perform the way it is. I mean, look at it now. You see how when you dig through with the excavator, how it takes it out like butter, but when you go to dig with or push with the dozer, it's technically the same mechanic, but you notice how it chops a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it can't handle the amount of volume that it's pushing, and it could be hitting that performance wall already.
I just saw that as this is like GMS and it's an old game and it's not going to work very well.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got any. Oh, fuck! I know why that's not working.
Power's not on.
No water. So
gotta have some water there, buddy.
It's my fault.
Well,
so they've changed this. They've changed this. So the way that most people would keep this going is you could just have your water flowing into the back of the splitter. If you disconnect both of these now, it turns the water off. So you have to physically go and turn it back on.
Boo.
Yeah.
I water everywhere.
I was doing this off when I set all this up offline. I was like, why isn't this working? It's all plugged in. So now in order for you to keep it rolling, you have to have at least like your nuggeter plugged in so it keeps the water flowing.
Yep.
I sat there and just went, oh, you bastards. They changed something and it's done that.
Yeah, no. So when I hopped in, I was doing a bunch of the testing and stuff like that, and ordering for the orange beast and stuff. And I was like, it's kind of weird, but I get it. Nothing to be upset about, or you know what I mean? Like, last time to rage.
I could see people raging. Something's
Reddit,
broken.
That's it. I'm opening up my Reddit sub list here, and it's time to start complaining.
But no, it's been good to have a chat with you again. It really has. And I've got to be honest, we've got to do this more often, I think. I think it'll be a laugh.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been trying to take some time when I have something out and get out into the communities and chat with people and stuff like that. But, you know, like as you said, I only get 2 days off, so I was like, you know what? Get in here and chat with Hybrid and see what's going on and see how everybody's feeling about everything. And
nothing's going on here. It's the same old. The worst part is because we're running up to Christmas. It's like nothing can be done now because the situation we're in is like our money now goes towards like traveling for Christmas. So we put it all together. We were okay. But it's like, can't go out to the cinema, can't do this for the kids. It's like, dudes, we've just got to wait until after Christmas, then you'll be fine, we'll go back to normal. Like, for 3 weeks, it's boring. Can't do nothing. But you'll be okay, don't worry. That's how it is with my kids. It's like, Daddy, can we go out? It's like, can you wait a couple of weeks? Maybe. We'll be alright.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, please.
Be alright, just a little bit here, man.
Just don't kill each other, we'll be fine.
It's about time I crawled out from under my rock. Hey, listen, I like my rock, okay? It is my safety rock, and it's scary going out to other communities. You never know how they're going to be.
I like my rock as well. I don't like going outside anymore. Like I used to be a proper like social person. I used to go out clubbing all the time. I used to go to bars. I used to enjoy myself. Like, and then having kids was fine. Getting married was fine. COVID actually killed social life for me. Like, I didn't want to go near people anymore. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm just going to stay inside. I'm a turtle. I'm fine.
Besides going to work, I have a hard time with even COVID because it's like after all that, it was like, you know, getting ready to do all these cool things and crazy stuff, and then all of a sudden it kind of just smacked you down for like 3 years, you know, and getting out of that that mindset is very difficult. I think for a lot of people even still.
Yeah. But for me, I'm like, I think I just sort of, I think I just gave up going out for a while. And I was like, you know what? I'm okay. I don't need this anymore.
I've always been a homebody myself. You know what I mean? Like, I've done a lot in life. I've done a lot of crazy things, but, you know, just to do the day-to-day basics and stuff like that is kind of
it's time to chill
normal.
now. I'm getting too
old. To relax and get too old and things start hurting and, you know, like, I don't know why I hurt today, but something happened. I might have rolled over in my sleep wrong.
But most of the time I hurt now is I normally moan about it. It's like I'll go because I go to the gym now because I need to get myself into a better physical condition. So I've been going for about 8 months or so now. I haven't really lost any weight. I've put weight on, but I know that's muscle. But it's like fat wise, I'm still fat. But can I lift more than I could last time? Yes, I can. I'm all good. No, I'm fine. That's how I'm seeing it. I'm like, I may be fat, but I can lift weights. I'm fine.
As long as I can fit through a standard door, I'm okay.
As long as I don't need to turn the flat into a double door, I'm okay.
We don't need no barn doors installed anywhere. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
When you walk into a grocery store and you're like, man, this is a tight fit, you got a problem.
Or it's like, I can't move. I need wheels.
Yeah, you gotta do something when you can't shower properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta do something with life here. This is a little not in control.
If you can't fit in the shower to start with, then you got problems.
Yeah, no, the shower door is like too small.
But no, yeah, that's what it is. So what have you got planned for going into the new year then, as a last sort of topic?
Oh man, going into this new year. Let's see. As far as the channel goes, probably just gonna be redoing all of my tutorial series.
Yeah.
So, you know, because everything's kind of like getting to that point where it's out of date. All these games have updated, and yeah, I'm tired of seeing all the comments. Split, when are you going to update the video? Is this still valid? Like,
does this still work?
Does this still work? It's like, yes, but, you know, this, and kind of doing those things and just kind of relaxing and just continue doing some testing and some concepting for these devs and just try to relax and have fun. That's really about it. Nothing too crazy. I try not to put too much on my plate anymore when it comes to content. So,
I get
definitely getting out and chatting and hanging out with people that have been homies of the channel for a really long time and putting some time into their communities and things like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, then I shall. I'll let you go, mate.
Yeah, dude. That's what it's all about, bros. Thank everybody for coming over to the community. We put all of our shout outs and stuff like that in. So
yeah, if you do want to go, if you haven't already, guys, go and check out Split. He plays Out of All, Gold Mining, all the games that I play. He plays them better, and he's got friends, and he talks to them as well. It's all good.
I mean, they might disagree with treating them nice and stuff like that, and but yeah,
slave driver
of the claim. It's been fun, and thanks for having me on here, Hybrid. We'll definitely do it again. And
not a problem, dude. Have a good one,
love, dudes. Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out, dude.
Let me get all this stuff sorted now. Right. Give me a second, guys. Now I need to sort out all my sound stuff again. Da-dub. Hope you guys are doing alright out there. Thanks very much for being around. I need to sort my sound stuff because I can't hear my stuff anymore. It's better. I can now hear it. Have a good one, long hauler. And what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll have a little bit of Spotify for the last little bit of the stream. A little bit of lo-fi. Never get a bathroom break. No, he drives things harsh, man. But yeah, if you are still working, watching, still, thank you very much for kicking by. It was nice to catch up, really was. I've spoken to Split on and off for the last couple of years, and I've never had a problem, never sort of never gone wrong. He's always been around to have a chat, but now he's sort of getting out there and actually talking. It's actually nice to have him around. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. If you do, if you want to see us do it again, and you want to hear us out talking stuff or whatever, let us know. Comment section, it's all good. Or if you're in chat now. Music's a little loud. It's just interesting to hear his takes. Yeah, he's been around this more than I have. That's the thing. He's not just like a casual guy who's playing the game. He has worked with them in the past. So. But yeah, it's always interesting to have a different sort of input of things that are going on. Hey, and my dozing's getting better as well. I mean, it's not great, but it worked a little bit better this time. Music down 25%, really? Interesting. It sounds like I've done something with my settings in. Yeah, so for me, I've been, as you can tell, I've been playing this game in the background, just a little bit. And last time you joined me in the stream, I was in Pine Valley, and I was like, you know what, guys, I need to grind it out. I just need to advance. I need to go through. So I'll catch you up. What I did was I dug out a little bit of a bigger space. I can actually show you on my gold map. Let me go into parcel 3. So I dug out all of this here, and it got me with everything else. I fully upgraded collab out of ore with hybrid on the mine. Yeah, I think it'll be cool, man. I'll have to join in at some point. It'll probably be maybe the other side of Christmas. Because right now it's like I'll get this stuff. I'm doing this. I'll get through till next year and then I'll pop on. It'll be cool. Yeah, you get the person who knows what he's doing, split, versus the person who just goes, let's put TNT in this place. Well, it'll be fine, and then cause like a mountain slide or something. It'll be cool. Chaos over logic. It's fine. It'll work. Yeah, we've spoken about it in the past. I was going to pop over and do a collab, but then he would be covering stuff for Christian, and then it'd be like he'd be testing things out, so we never had time. And because obviously Split lives on the other side of the planet to myself, it's time zones. Like, you know, by the time he's just getting up and having his coffee, like now, like an hour ago, it was 9 o'clock at night. So I've only got like a couple of hours left. So as he said, when he does his out of ore stuff, he does it a little bit earlier. So I might be able to jump in, go from there. I won't stream it on my channel. I'll show the respect and be like, no, if you want to come and talk on Split's channel. I'll go from there. There was a lot of like suggestions of like from Rasher for like GMSM2. I agree with like some. Yeah, they need to like just look into the actual game itself and try and figure out where the middle ground is for like all gaming. Like it needs to be, from my point of view, it needs to be balanced. We need a game that's going to come in and do for new people, old people, give us something new to mess around with and enjoy and go from there. So yeah, so there's a lot of ideas flying around, but I think it's just devs need to put out a plan first and then see what everyone thinks about it. I think that should be the main thing, really. Next year for sure, definitely. Yeah, next year, because like right now it's too close. I got to do all my Christmas wrapping next week. I've got to chill. I got to get to the gym at least like 4 times next week because I've missed this week because I'm just like I'm shattered. Nothing left of the old. No, it's running out. It's too much, man. It's too much. Right, don't need duplex jig. Yes, higher, hired. You're hired. You're hired. Assign. Have we got? We got a level 40. Let's upgrade him. Confirm. He's grumpy. No. Cool. I'm good. Alright. Just letting it run to fill up. If I start getting messages going, it's full, then we're done. Oh, there we go. That's the reason why. So that should be okay now. Is that better? Happier? All good? Yeah. It's because... So how you do... I've just discovered all of this, by the way. So what you do is... I had Split playing through desktop. So you could hear him and so on and so forth. Normally, because I have to turn that setting on Discord, I didn't turn it off. So it was still playing through the desktop. And that's why it was like super loud. And that's my bad. Sorry. Right, that's all being changed over. That's fantastic. Thankfully no fall damage. We're all good. Boom. So now I've got 2 workers on duplex jigs. We can now put the buckets over on that one as well. I got a serious question about exercise, dude. I'm heavily overweight and I get back pain after a short time just walking. Would a set of hiking sticks help me? No, so the problem with your back pain, I'm going to assume, is now lower. So it's like hitting right above your, I know it's going to sound dirty, but your ass, your bum. So that's where your back pain is. It's because everything in front is pulling you forward. So your back keeps trying to prop you up and prop you up and prop you up. And then when you're working, it's working in the backs of your hips as well. The worst part is the only way to stop that pain is to lose weight. That's what I've been told. So I deadlift a lot, and I generally try to keep up weights and stuff. It's not, you're gonna have to lose weight. That's just how it is. It's unfortunate because that's my position as well. So to put this into perspective, in May of this year, before I started going to the gym, I weighed 262 pounds, which is more than I thought I weighed. But I was starting to work on actual muscle mass. Now I weigh 280 pounds. And I sat there and just went, no way. The thing is I'm not any fatter. I'm now just muscle heavy. So I've put on 12 pounds of whatever inside. And the only way that you can figure out how heavy you are, like fat wise or muscle wise or this, you have to have a DEXA scan, or you have to have a gym that has a full body composition scan. And that's better to find out. So if you have something like that where you're able to actually like follow what, where your weight is and everything, it actually works out a little bit better for you to focus on certain things as well. When it comes to lower back pain, it is literally, you either have to build your muscles up, so that starts with deadlifting, so you're working on your back, your legs and everything else. You can't afford a gym? Okay, can you afford a bar? So can you afford gym equipment? So for me, I can't really. I mean, for me, my carer's allowance pays for me to go to the gym. It's £40 a month. I have an 8 kilogram kettlebell. Okay, so in order for you to start working, if you were going to do that, then squats would be the best way to go, and it's going to suck. It's going to suck a lot. So with a squat, you would hold the kettlebell to your chest. So hold the handle right here. And then when you squat down, you've got to keep your back straight. Yeah. As my other half just said, if you can't do a squat normally, use the back of a chair to hold it up. Hold yourself up with the back of a chair, squat down and squat back up. You need to build up your legs before you build your back then. If you can't do it with just freestanding. By the way, all of this stuff I picked up just randomly, like paying attention to videos and stuff. You can squat, no problems. Okay, do it with the weight. I'll show you. So I'm not. I'll show you. I'm not in the greatest of physical conditioning. Okay. Desktop, YouTube, because it's in my folder. I've got 3 things to show. And this one. Okay. So, if we go... This is what I mean. I'm not in the greatest of physical condition. That's me lifting 120 kilos. I still have a stomach. And I still have a stomach now. It's not going away any further. This was me lifting 150 kilo. This was, I don't know, about a month and a half ago. As I said, I'm a fat person. You got to build up your legs, your back, and everything else. And then this is me lifting 160 kilos. The weight goes up, and it's getting there. This one sucked because I was wonky. I did it twice. I was like, hey, that'll be a laugh. And then I suffered 3 days later. Like, my back was like, yeah, you hurt yourself a little bit, didn't you? Yeah, stupid bastard. But so with this, because I do a lot of upper body, that's my back. There's not a lot of fat there anymore. All my weight is literally in my stomach now. But yeah, that's 160 kilos. That's 40 kilos off of what I wanted to lift this year. I wanted to do 200, but I haven't had the time. But yeah, the thing is it's just something you build up. To put this into perspective, when I first started going to the gym, I could lift 100 kilos. And I thought that was heavy. And I mean, it is heavy, but I thought that was my limit. And I was like, you know what? No, I need to do more. I need to do better. I need to do this. And you just have to push yourself. When you get older, it sucks more. So that's why I started doing it now and not in like 10 years time when I'm 50. Because it's harder. Yeah, I started deadlifting this year. I started going to the gym this year. $46. You've got time. The thing is you start off little. So go. I mean, if you can get to like a pure gym, which is like $10. I don't know if you're American or English, but let me know. If you're anywhere near like a pure gym or like what they call like a mainstream gym place, you can get a gym membership for like 10 quid. Alright, so are you anywhere near a pure gym, which is like one of the cheapest gym franchises in the UK? It costs like a tenner a month. And the reason why is just because they have so many members. They have so many members there that they can take a loss for membership, because a gym's overheads isn't a lot when compared to just when you compare it like other businesses. Go and check out how much it is to join. I'm pretty sure it's 10 quid actually. Pure gym membership. Give me a sec, because my friend's a member of Pure Gym down in a different town. So, accept all. If you go for the core, it's $22.99 a month plus joining fee. I don't know what joining fees are. Book classes 8 days in advance, unrestricted access, so you can work out 24/7, and that's £22.99 a month. That is a bloody good deal, considering I spend £40 a month. My gym's nowhere the size of a Pure Gym. I wish I lived in a different town, and I actually I know where I want to live now. Also got the gym here. Yeah, go. So yeah, you can get to a Pure Gym or something like that. Pay a little bit for the membership, and just get yourself moving. He is. Oh yeah, so Kerry's just said, if you're in the UK, go and talk to your GP about a weight management thing. It's a service the NHS provide for talking to people looking to lose weight. You can get slung on one of those. If you're eligible for it, you can get slung on one of those medications they're now trying to help people with, and they'll help you plan out your meals, that sort of thing. I got to lift in 100 kilo deadlift for 5 rep sets, but I never tried a lift 1 rep to see my max. Then I got addicted, and now I got to find that way back in. Yeah, for me it was more, I went because, for doing the whole deadlift thing, I can do 15 reps for 100 kilos happily. 100 kilo for me is okay, it's heavy, but you know what, I'm all good with this. And I used to haul that stuff around when I was younger. So what I used to do is, when I used to unload trucks in the warehouse at the supermarkets, he used to load me up with like sacks of potatoes. Sacks of potatoes are 25 kilo each. So I used to just sling 4 of those on my back and walk through the warehouse and put them on the racks. So heavy lifting's always been something I'm okay at. But deadlifting it, yeah, I've never done deadlift before. Your goal is to be able to get up the stairs to the flat without dying halfway up. So you need to work on. So your whole thing then is you need to look on to losing weight, working on cardio, and working on your muscle structure as well, which is exactly what I'm doing. I actually found out how unfit when it comes to cardio. Before I joined him, I used to walk to the top of the street every day, and I used to walk back. You walk around and say goodbye to my friend who used to she lives up that way. So then I'd walk her up to her house, and then I'd walk back, stop off at the bakery, and come home. Not a good way to start your day, by the way. And so I got home, and I was fine. But then the other day, I walked from the school to the shop, and I was like, I'm fucking unfit. I can't do this. I can lift weights, but I can't walk. So I now need to find that balance between cardio and actually walking. And it sucks. Right, it's not going to be on for very long. Need to get to the next bit. Plug this back in. I don't use the gym at all. Lost about 30 pounds in 2 months. Started a physical demanding job. Yeah, that'll do. The thing that I always had a problem with was when I used to work 2 jobs, I could eat more because I was working 2 jobs. When you get fired from one job and you carry on eating the same, it doesn't help you. So yeah, that was my problem. And then that just carried on. That mentality still was kicking in my head. It's like, I can do this, I'm fine, don't worry about it. And then I put weight on. But yeah, get out there. As I said, the first step into like doing anything about it now is actually getting out and doing it. But one thing I did learn, and this was something from my own mentality, up until now, like literally up until this year, I didn't want to go to a gym. I couldn't be bothered. I genuinely saw it as a waste of time. I was like, fuck it, I can't be bothered. No, there's no point. It took a death in the family. Well, actually, it took several of them, but the last one was like, you know what? This is the kicker. I had my kids sitting next to me. I was like, I don't want to be the next box. No way. And that's what pushed me to start. And you have to find your own actual, like, proper kick to go. You really do. You can't. The worst part is you can't sit there and go, oh yeah, I'll start this, and then you don't. You have to kick yourself in the arse to get out and do it yourself, because if you don't, then you're not ready to do it. But if you've got the motivation to, like, this is my goal, this is what I need to do, that's the one. That's what you need in your head. And that's what I've got in my head now. For me, I mean, I'm going to get heavier because of, like, what I'm physically doing. But my main struggle is trying not to eat the world. Because there are days, obviously, I sit there and just go, I'll be fine, don't worry about it. And I'll stick another one on the plate, it's good. But then, obviously, if I don't go to the gym every single day, then I'm not burning off those extra calories, and I'll keep the weight on. So I have to push myself out the door. I have to go, no, fuck it, we ate this, we're going to the gym, we're going to sort this shit out. And that's the mentality I have myself now. It's literally, get your ass up and go and do it. Because that's what I have to do. Because if not, I'm like, I won't go out today because I don't know, it's a bit cloudy. You know, I can't go out today because I've got to have a bath. Have a bath after the gym. So yeah, I get stuck in the excuse rack. The only times I won't go during the day, because that's when I go, is when my kids are on half term. Because that for me is like a rest. I get a couple of weeks where my body can sort of heal, and then back to the normal. But because my wife is physically disabled and, like, she can't get up the stairs half the time, she has problems with her joints and stuff, she can't look after the kids all the time, so I have to be here when they're up because of her. So that's the other reason. Eating tastes good. Yeah, that's part of the problem. That was my issue last night. So last night we treated ourselves to a takeaway, and what I ate, I put myself into a food coma, and genuinely I should not have done it, but I was hungry because I hadn't eaten properly all day. Like, and I was like, you know what, yeah, sure, I'm gonna have this. I sat there for a long time with pains in my stomach going, man, that was just too much. I woke up this morning going, man, that was too much. I had breakfast at like 9:30, 10 o'clock because I couldn't eat at breakfast time because I was still full. So I ate too much, and that's part of my problem. I was like, feed me, it's all good. They're not on. Never been super fit, just keep the... Yeah, so same with me. Before I became... Well, I don't know. I would say before I finished my jobs, before I was like doing that, I was okay. But then I started playing baseball and I was fine. It kept me ticking more than anything. But then after that, I didn't have any reason to go outside anymore. I had to give up because of Kerry's mobility. And it sucked. And it was like, you know, she couldn't even come out and enjoy it. Even if she was going to sit there and moan about the game, she'd still get out and be able to actually get out. Now she can't. So she can't look after the kids. I had to give up what I did. Yeah, I had to find a new thing to do. Going to the gym was just fell into place at the right time. I'm not quite a gym bro though. I think a gym bro, you have to spend like 10 hours in a gym a day, and you have to like blood, sweat and tears the gym. Hey, Ari, quick question. I'm pretty sure you've probably answered this before, but going from tier 3 to tier 4, what order would you upgrade the machines? Are you looking for like realistic, or are you looking for leaderboard? Because there's two different ways of playing. Realistic. So the first thing that you would upgrade in like a mining situation, your idea is you want to capture more gold. Okay, so the things that capture the most gold are your sluice runs. Obviously we can't upgrade those, so the next thing is your either your trommel or your duplex jigs. So they're the first things you really would go through. And then you would go for, hey, we need to wash our rocks better, so you need to upgrade your shaker deck to a D-rocker. And then you go from D-rocker to, you know, Glacier Creek. That one. But yeah, I only know what I know because of Gold Rush, the TV show. That's basically my education in gold mining. Just watch a lot of I've watched a lot of Dave Turin mining, Todd Hoffman's mining stuff with his family, Freddie and Juan. You watch all of those programs and you kind of get it, and you're like, okay, yep, I'm good. Don't worry. I think we've got this. We got one more run. Now we've got $3 down here, $3 up there. Yeah. If you want to see how they upgrade in real life, I would highly recommend Juan and Freddy's Mine Rescue on Discovery. If you ever get a chance, watch it. Hoffman's had bad luck, mate. That was traumatizing for them. I felt really sorry for him. The worst part is it happens to Todd all the time. That's part of his problem. It's like it's just another way of ruining Todd Hoffman. Just something else happens and it's bad. Yeah, the whole landslide of like the ice and stuff, and it was going to head to the creek, and then they got shut down. I'm like, it's not good. It's really not good. There are new seasons. Dude, there's loads. So if you go on Discovery and just type in gold mining, holy crap! Yeah, you get the original Gold Rush, which they're still going. I think they're on season 15 now. It's mainly focused on Rick Ness, Parker, and Tony still. Kevin's gone off on his own, and that's fine. And then you've got the Hoffman family. They've got 3 seasons out now. Then you've got Dave Turin's mine. That's out there as well. Tony was disassembling an old, but that was like 4 seasons ago. That's an old episode, basically, and that's a dredge. Oh yeah, they had it working, then it got flooded, and then they got told they couldn't do it because there was a water license on the creek, so they stopped. It was like, yay, environmental protection. No, it was mainly their water license that stopped them doing anything. But yeah, now Kevin's basically had enough of like listening to his dad, so he's gone off on his own. He's now partnered up with his wife, Faith, and they're now running their mine. Brennan's come back, who used to work for Parker. He now works on Kevin's mine. Parker now owns Dominion Creek, which is a $15 million mine. Now he's basically struggling to pay the bills because he had to go down another 16 feet into his claim to actually get to Goldrich Pay. Rick Ness, he's working on his own at Rally Valley, and he's looking into, not sure if this is going to be his last season at where he is because water licensing. He doesn't know if he's going to have the water license for next year, so it's all fun and games. And then Juan and Freddy's Mine Rescue, that's got like 3 or 4 seasons behind it now. That's a really good show. If you like seeing like smaller operations, like family run-ups, that sort of thing, and you want to see Juan and Freddy walk in and sort of like fix it up, good show to watch. Really good. And the Hoffmans, they took on a mine in Alaska, and it was Jack Hoffman's last season this season, so he's finally retired. I thought he was dead already, because I hadn't heard from like Jack Hoffman. Yeah, that little crazy man sitting in the door. We'll get there, guys. We just got to dig out the gold. And then I genuinely thought he died. And then he turns up in the Hoffman's family. He's like, I'm 74, and now he's 78, and he's like, yeah, he's retired proper. I'm like, yeah, there you go. So now it's just Todd and his son. You've also got Tony Spinks up there as well, and his son is on the mine as well. So it's like a proper family running mine. Ferber came back from the for the first couple of seasons. He was in there. He also made an appearance during one of Juan and Freddy's episodes. So there was a little bit of crossover in some parts. Dave Turin turned up in one of Freddy's matches, in one of Freddy's videos as well. So they are pulling. They are really doing like a lot of like cross-referencing for like different seasons. Which one? Oh, Chris. Yeah, he's still there. He's playing. He keeps playing golf out the back of his house. Hard to believe how far and well Parker is. Yeah, so Parker's done really well, but he understands the business, and that's the difference between him and I would say like any other person they followed apart from Tony. He understands the business to a point that you keep your friends close, your enemies closer, and your money so close no one else can steal it. And you sort of saw that as he got older. When it came to him making like bigger deals, it was like, you can't watch this. You cannot be here to watch this negotiation. This is between miner and miner. This is not your world. And you started to see him become more of a businessman and a mine boss, which I like. It's nice to see the evolution of a person, but it does make you, I think it makes you a bit more, I don't know, less accessible, because you're having all these like things that you can't show with people because that's the way it is. When Parker was younger, it was easier for him to show these things because he wasn't, he was young and naive. Now he understands the industry a bit better. He's a little bit more like secretive of some of the things he does, and he doesn't take any shit from anybody. A bit. Well, no, there's a difference. I would say there's a difference between becoming a professional and becoming. I'm not going to say arrogant. I would say it's more just because, like, when it comes to gold mining, you don't disclose how much you paid for stuff unless you really want to talk about it. And Parker's spoken about it, like, this is how much he's paid for certain things, but he never showed the negotiations for those things. That's it, the business matters and everything else not shown on Discovery. So there's still things that you don't see. I watch it every week. I binge watch the Hoffman's show. I've binge watched Freddie's show because it was like, oh yeah, I'll just get on this. I'll watch it all now because then like Gold Rush is going to go live soon. And like lo and behold, I finished one of Freddie's thing, and then the Gold Rush starts up again. So yeah, I haven't stopped watching Gold Rush. I haven't stopped playing. I'm playing Gold Rush. So yeah, it's all of this stuff, all of it. But I like it. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I play the game. I like the scene of it. It's just, for me, it's just something I like. I enjoy it. Do you watch the Odgie God? I watched I think I watched 2 seasons of that one, but it's almost, for me, it wasn't as captivating. And I don't know why. I think because it's obviously the same company that are filming it and stuff, but I'm like, for some reason, it just doesn't have that dramatic feel that the American one does. It's not as dramatic. It's more like, well, we'll get outside and we're going, wave metal detectors around for a bit. We'll find some gold. All right, cool. Well, we've got this dust blower thing that blows us gold. Cool. Anything else? No, we're just gonna go wavy wandies. Open minders are a good one. That's a lot more hard work. Speaking of GMS, I kind of wish the drilling process could be done, could be more engaging, like more to the drill dirt and see what we get. And so, yeah, I would say it'd be nice to see like actual drilling samples. So we pay for, I don't know, let's say we pay for like 20 drills. And then when you come onto your gold map and you go, okay, so I want to drill. I want to drill. I want to see this spot here. So obviously, I want to see these drill holes. What it should do is it will show the line that it took, and then when you click on one of these, it shows like an actual image of the gold or something. That could be a thing. Or you throw darts. You throw darts at the board and say, I want to drill there. I want to drill there. I want to drill there, and see what happens. Core sampling would be pretty cool, yeah. But it's I think what you've got to take into consideration is it's a video game. So how much detail do they want to put into the game? Do they want to make it more realistic, or do they want to make it so it's more accessible? Now that's one of those things of like trying to find that balance between, is it going to be good or is it going to be bad, or is it going to be sort of, I don't know, how we're gonna make this so everybody can really get into it. And I feel that's probably one of the more damning things of being a game dev, because you want to please the people who are playing the game now. You want to please the people who have stuck around in the community, or they just enjoy the game and they're like that sort of person. They're hardcore, they like the game, they play the game religiously, they've never played anything else, that sort of person. Or do you want to help the person who plays it once in a blue moon, who's like, oh, you know what, I'll come home from the office, I'm tired of listening to like Dylan at work, fuck him, I want to play Gold Rush, I want to dig a hole and I don't care. And he's just a person who comes home from work and just plays the game. And I think you've got to try and find that middle ground for both hardcore players and then the casual people. I would see myself more as sort of like a casual player. Even though I'm playing Leaderboard and I'm sitting here talking to you on a stream, I'd see myself more as a casual, because I'm not here to prove anything. I'm just here to play the Leaderboard and see where I get. I don't really care about rushing things. I'll do it my way. So I don't see myself as a really hardcore player, but maybe in GSM 2 that might change. Because if that changes and I become one of those people like, I'm playing this game every day and I'm going to deep dive into it, I'm going to, I'm putting 500 hours into this in the first couple of months. If I turn into that gamer, then the game might not be for me and I need a different experience, which is I need to find a different game. So yeah, it's a real, I'd say it's one of the hardest things of being a games dev, is trying to find that balance that everybody, or at least a majority, is happy and they want to part ways with their wallet just to play the game. And yeah, that's how I see things. So yeah, that's just what it is. The thing is, some of us don't mind putting the hours in, like yourself. For me, I'm like, I could put the hours in, but is it going to really captivate me to play this game? Is it going to be interesting enough to keep me wanting to play? Yeah, and I think that's what I think that's why this may have taken, obviously with like the development, the team changes and everything else. I would say that's been part of the problem, trying to find that middle ground between the casual and the hardcore, and trying to think of a way of trying to keep everyone semi-happy at the same time. And it's not easy. But at the end of the day, it's whatever they choose to do. This next game could be I sit there and just go, holy crap, we're going to play this forever. Or I could play it and go, you know what? I'm sort of done. Yeah. We're going to straight up ban all the farm sim stuff. Okay, cool. But that was the old dev team. They were like that as well. I think the way that this game is, this is made for. I mean, now it's more. I would say people do focus on leaderboard a lot. The main game itself is still okay. I mean, there is that story element that you can put into it, which is good. Comes down to the user now, really. Hooked on Farming Simulator 25. I went. Yeah, I'm up for playing it more. I'm just waiting until next year because I finished what I call season 1, and now season 2 for me is like grinding up, building my farm, and so on and so forth. Because that's my plan. So we're going from there. Where are you standing? I ain't got a clue. Do you want to be? Last time I looked at the leaderboard was, when was my last stream? I haven't paid attention to the actual leaderboard. So what we'll do this cleanup, and then I'll show you. I don't think I'm top 10. No. I'm only just on Nighthawks. I'm only on like a couple of thousand here. I don't think I'm top. There's no way I'm top 10. There are people who are like, I would say like if you're in top 10 players now would probably have something like, I want to guess at like 50,000 ounces of gold, because those people, I think I know how they're playing, and basically their idea is they take out a loan and just loan their way to the top, and then they pay back the interest by digging like a bastard, basically. I think that's how they do it. They basically, you're good if you're in the top 50. Isn't there only like 50 of us playing it? I don't know how many people are actually playing season. Like they straightened out the rules for leaderboard. I can't remember. Yeah, the save scumming was that needed to be addressed like 5 years ago. If I'm going to be brutally honest, that should have been one of the first things they should have thrown people out for. Like that's part of the reason why some people didn't enjoy playing the season mode, because of cheaters. And I get it, but you can't help it. So I think the main meta now is that you take out your first loan, you buy the first bits of equipment, you pay it back quickly so it looks better for you on the banking part of the game. And then you take out the biggest, fattest loan you can, and you get into Nighthawk as quickly as you can, and then you don't have to worry about anything else again. I think that's how it's done. Or the people who are top of the leaderboard are just like monsters. They're like, I'm going to chew 3,000 billion yards of dirt in 30 seconds because I'm a beast. Fair play to you. I'm not going to compete against you. It's completely fine. So yeah, I think that's how that is. So it comes down to the person playing. It really does. But yeah, it's just a way of like finding the shortest way to do stuff. Yeah, I mean, there are people that will put. I think was it last year? Well, not last year. The last time I played this, there was a guy who just went from like 0 to like 3,000 ounces like within the first day. I was like, how the fuck did he do that? It was like because he played for like 17 hours. It's like that's dedication. I can't match it. It's fine. Don't worry about me. Yeah, you do like a 17-hour stint straight away. You just get in and get it done. You get your first bit of gold. You get down. You get drilling. You get on your claim. You start digging. ASAP. Done. That's how you do that. I don't have that time, so I already know I'm not going to win, just because I can't put that much time into it. I mean, I could, but then I'm not going to get anything else done around the house for a month. Yeah, the dude he hit 1 million. His last section of the stream, I mean, people called him out for cheating. I was like, he didn't cheat. He literally sat here like hog panning for the last couple of ounces, so he got 1 million ounces exact. I mean, fair play to him. This I could do all day. Yeah, I mean, you could, but then you have to be. I think in order to do successfully, you need to be doing like 5,000 ounces in game day every day for the whole time. No stopping. About 5,000 yards of dirt a day. I think when Split was doing it, obviously this is before like they put the gold in the way they have for like this for the more modern seasons. He was pulling like 8,000 yards a day, just because of just how fast he was going. For me, it's more. I'm normally trundling around the now with this bigger excavator. I'm normally sitting around of like 2,000. I was hitting 2,000 yards a day on Old Arnold. No, we don't. Have you heard anything about a hardcore leaderboard? It's not going to happen. Why would it happen? It's going to put so many people off playing the game. The problem with doing anything hardcore is everybody else goes, nah, that's alright. I don't want to touch that. Because they won't find it fun. They play leaderboard for fun, you know, the excitement of getting like a bigger number than last time. That's just how it is. It would yeah, it would. But the problem with like hardcore, I mean, let's say, I mean, to make it hard, the only things you can really do is put the cost of everything up, turn off the seasonal cost, so you keep it like the highest number possible for each piece of equipment, which means that's going to be a bit of a grind. You turn off leasing after the first claim, so you have to buy the claims instead of just leasing it straight away. No nuggets, no loans, sure. And then all of a sudden you've got this horrible mode that nobody would want to play. But there has to be some sort of leniency when it comes to like leveling out the boards. I think where they've got this now, I think this is okay. It's like one set of rules for everybody, and if you don't follow them, you'll be alright. Don't worry about playing the leaderboard. If you can't put that much time in, don't worry about it. You know, it's a game, have fun. But I would say leaderboard are for people like myself who don't have a lot of anything else to do in a day. You know, or if you're working, you're really good at like doing your time management, because I wouldn't be able to do this whilst working a job. No way. I was playing no nuggets after the first one, otherwise the 2 to 3. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You would just stop doing nuggets after that point. That's fine. It's not full, it's fine. do this and work in it for social life, I would sacrifice. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You'd also be trying to figure out where you can eat, how you can do this, and still do this at the same time. It's a lot. And I only do this once or twice a year. I don't do this every month because, I mean, this would kill me. If I was doing this every month, I'd be like, nah, it's all right. You know what? I'm going to shoot myself now because there's no point. It does grind on you. I would say that I have to be in the right mood to do this sort of thing as well. I don't want to sit here for like months on end doing this. Yeah, this is social life. My social life is very much the same. My social life is doing YouTube, pretty much. I get to talk to parents outside the school in the mornings and afternoons. That's my social life. I will purposely leave the house like 10 minutes earlier than I should, just so I can talk to people. Because I do need some sort of human interaction that's not the four walls. Well, I can deal with people at school gate. I can't go into a big town. If I go into a big town now, I hate everybody. Because there's too many people around and they're cramping me, and I'm like, no, you're breathing down my neck. I'm going to punch you. So I tend when I go into town, that's how I deal with it. In my head, I'm everybody there's no one else around me, but there's everyone around me. But that's the problem. That was the problem with what we went through with the whole COVID thing. That's what got me the most, because that switched something. Yeah, no, talking to a cashier at a store is really good, because even they're in that same position. I always found when I was working checkouts, it was always nice just to say hello to someone, because if you didn't, you were just like, you were seen as a grumpy sod sitting at, oh god, I'm having to deal with this twat. He doesn't do customer service. He's not a nice person. So I always said hello to people. I'm quite an inviting person when you actually talk to me. I look horrible, and I look very unapproachable, but that's through choice. But when it comes down to actually having a conversation, I'm all right. I'll talk to anybody really. But yeah, when you work on a checkout, if you don't say hello to people, they're not going to talk to you. They're not going to bother. They don't care. All you're there for is pushing their groceries to the carry bag section, and they're going to give you money for their stuff. That's it. They don't care about you. They don't care about what your day's like. They don't care how you are. They don't care if your dog died. They don't care about nothing. They just see you as the minion of the workplace. You could sit and go, hello, and they're not going to care. Because you're a minion. They're above you. You're shopping. They're not. Yeah, that sort of thing. So every checkout operator I speak to, I ask them how they are, how they're doing. They talk to me, smile on their face. Enjoy it. Some do. Some you just don't want to approach because they're like the grumpy old fucking bulldog who's like next door going, get off my land or I'm going to chew your leg off. You can tell those people have just not had a good day. I will eat you. Say one bad thing to me, mate, and I'm going to throw these peas up your nose. Yeah. It's also another reason why I don't go through self checkout. I'll go through self checkout if I've got like one item and literally every other checkout that is around is like full, because then I'm not waiting. If I've got a basket full of stuff, I will wait for a checkout. I won't go through self-service. Not with a basket, not with a trolley. And they push you. They're like, oh, so you can come this way. It's like, no, that's all right. I don't work here. You work here. This is your job. My job is to buy stuff from you, and I'm going to talk to you. If you don't like that, go and work in the cigarette counter. I won't come and talk to you because I don't smoke. That's just the way I see life. And also, I've worked in supermarkets. I don't work there anymore. Please stop getting me to go through self-service. I also grudge, and this is one of my big peeve hates as well. Home shopping, I don't mind getting delivery to my door. What I don't like doing is getting the delivery to my door and having to pack my own fucking bags. So Asda, if you don't know, Asda do this. Asda will let you do a home delivery. It's fantastic. It's like, yay, Asda, we're going to give you your cheap stuff at your door. Fantastic, Asda, get in there. Can you pack your bags at your door? Because, well, you know, we don't supply carry bags. I hate going to Asda, home delivery. I prefer Morrison's. They have a carry bag scheme. If you take carry bags, you can give them back. They'll give you a discount on your shopping. That's the best way to do things. So there you go. This is just the way I go shopping. I am such a grumpy old man now. I am basically Abe Simpson shouting at clouds at this point. I'm a checkout fundamentalist unless you are going to give me a discount for doing the checkout work myself. Exactly. Yeah, no, Kerry agrees. I'm a grumpy old man. But that's the way it is. You know, the modernisms they've put into supermarkets takes the social life away from being there. And, I mean, there's no point after a while. And it sucks. There's even one in London. I think this was like last year or the year before it was unveiled as the first ever checkoutless supermarket. It's in London. It's not a very big one, but I think it's an Aldi. And basically, you take your card that's on your phone, not a physical card, a card that's on your phone, and you scan it to go into the shop because the gates are locked. You can't go in unless you scan your card, right? You go into the shop, you pick up your bits and pieces, you go to the checkout, you scan all your stuff, you pay with a card because they don't accept cash because there's no one there to count it, and then you scan your card to get out. No customer service apart from somebody who might be stacking the shelf. That's it. I'm like, that's bullshit. It's bollocks. And I think it was Corbyn's brother, Jeremy Corbyn's brother, who's an activist. He went into one of those. He went in there, bought a punnet of grapes, and then left the change on the counter and then jumped the turnstile because it was like he left the right money. So someone in Aldi had to like pick up his change and put it somewhere because everything's cashless. Self-scanning with a handheld scanner is fine though. They actually save me time because I can pack whilst I'm sure. A certain amount of trust is installed into those though, isn't it? Isn't it, really? Because you could scan and pack, and then you could slip in an extra packet of meat or an extra bottle. You know, there's small items that might go unnoticed. And I would be surprised. Actually, no, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a real, if that was a way that people were shoplifting nowadays. Oh, well, I've bought all my stuff. Oh, really? Can I see your receipt? Yeah, sure, here it is. All right, that's okay, sir. And you've stolen like 4 more packs of family-sized ham. You know? Oh, it probably happens more than we can we can count. No, just everything in general. Like it, guarantee it. People shoplift more with those things. But I bought all my stuff. Yeah, right. They do spot checks every once in a while. But I guarantee Dave, Deirdre, flipping Paul and Ruben, if they all walked in at the same time, one of them might get spot checked. The other 3 have stolen like 3 cases of wine, and maybe some of the white lightning from down the back of it. You know, that sort of thing. I'm making up stuff. But the people who still will take the sirloin either. Well, yeah, but the problem with the scan and shop stuff now is that it really does take a lot of trust for the supermarket to go, oh yes, all of our customers are angels, because you could just say that you've bought all of this stuff and it's fine. A shoplifter normally, and I would say normally, a shoplifter would go in with the common idea of going in to steal stuff and not go through the checkouts. And now you've got people who will legitimately shoplift going through the checkouts because they've already bought stuff, they're fine. Oh, well, it must have fallen in my bags. So it hopped over the railing from the shelf, did a somersault and landed in your bag in a trolley. Yeah, that's how it must have happened. You know? No. From my perspective, like the self-scan stuff is balls. Really is. And that's why you get people on like Benefits Britain when like Dave knocks on their door going, oh, I've got all this stuff if you want it cheap. Alright Dave, I'll buy your sausages off you for £5. Because you nicked them from Aldi. Because you went through the self-service. That's how it works. I did accidentally steal a packet. See, there you go. You stole a packet of raspberries. Oh, yes. I guarantee that happens too many times to loads of places. People just forget to like scan stuff and they go through. They didn't realise, and then all of a sudden they've stolen like half their lunch. The problem is they advertise it off as, oh, it's an easier way to shop. It's like, no, it's not an easy way to shop. It's an easy way so you don't have to employ somebody to do your job. I'll do your job for you. I'll pack my own bags and everything. Don't worry about it. Smile on my face. It's all good. Give me those little like Sainsbury's vouchers. We'll be good. There you go. I'll put this into perspective where this mentality comes from. My dad will not go into a cafe that says we don't accept cash. He won't do it. He won't even go into a McDonald's that's fully automated, because if it hasn't got a counter member of staff, he won't pay money to go there, because it's not his job to do everything for you. His job is to go inside, buy food, eat it, pay how he wants to, not how he's being told to. And as the time I've got older, I completely understand it. I really do. I don't like the fact that it's now my job to pack my own bags. I mean, okay, I don't mind packing my own bags because I've done it all my life. But it's not my job to go through a checkout and scan everything for myself. Oh, I was showing it all now anyway. It's like the school Christmas fair. So here's a prime example of how I am, right? So the school Christmas fair sent out their newsletter, and they were just like, "Oh, we're going to be using our cashless, our contactless payment thing. So you scan £20, and we'll give you £20 worth of tokens. So you get, it's your monetary value. It's the same amount of money you would spend anyway, but you get your tokens." And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to a cash point. I'm going to take out £20, and I'm going to cause you the inconvenience of asking for change after everything, because now you've pissed me off. So I have a £20 note. I'm going to play the £1 tombola and ask for 19 quid worth of change, just out of spite. Really? Just because I'm a dickhead. But it's just, also, last time they did this, the queue for that one contactless point they had was astronomical. They had a massive queue for people trying to get tokens. I was like, well, I've got my money, and I can walk over there and do the things I am without having to queue up for anything. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm a bellend. I just don't like the fact everything's going I don't mind technology, but I don't like how everything's just being automated now. I don't mind it in games, but when it comes to real life, you're putting people out of jobs. So this is the other thing, automating everything. So let's go cashless. All right, so you're going cashless. That means you're paying with just that. So those people who print money, that's their job. So if everyone goes cashless, you're going to make people, they're not going to have a job because there's no more money to print. So everything just turns into a digital currency, which means you don't need banks, which means all those bankers become unemployed. So all the banks have become unemployed, building societies have become unemployed, pension schemes, they'll just about survive because you have to have a pension to survive in real life. But your bank workers, money printers, all of those, they go out of job and they can't get another job. And this is the other thing that, like, I agree with Asmongold on this. So if you take, like, the reason why loads and loads of people have a problem with getting a smaller unpaid job, like myself, because I am a dumbass, right? I didn't do very well in school. My job like estimations was, I'm going to be working in retail, I'm going to be working in some dead end job for the rest of my life. I might as well try and find one that I enjoy. So I worked in a factory. I loved my job because it was simple, easy. I knew what I had to do and I never fucked up. I did everything by the book as it should be, and I was a good worker. Now, if you automated that job, this means as a person who breaks rocks, I don't have any rocks to break anymore. So I have to find another job. And the problem with that is all the low paid jobs, like the bog standard, like, you know, your bog standard blue collar worker jobs, which didn't take a lot of intelligence to do, but they took the skill work to do, you can't get them anymore because they don't exist anymore. So getting rid of cash gets rid of people's jobs. Automating jobs gets rid of people's jobs. More people end up on benefits because they're not educated enough to get a job they're not qualified to get, which means you lose the workforce. And that's what the problem with automation. That's the problem with going cashless. That's the problem with taking all those things away. All of those things are people's livelihoods and jobs, which they won't have anymore. So going through a self-service checkout and paying by card, you just took 4 people off the payroll, and there's no way of them getting another job because they've already got people who were stacking shelves. So yeah, that's how I was seeing. That's how I'm seeing life. But yeah, it's all those, it's all the little things. If you think about it, you go, oh crap. And the other thing about going cashless is you need a Wi-Fi connection to, like, you know, to be able to, like, hook up to the cashless machine. I live in a small village. We have power cuts. We have Wi-Fi downage. A couple of weeks ago, the post office up the road and 5 other businesses around it, they're little shops. They had a problem with their phone. They had a problem with their broadband because of someone dug through one of their wires. So they had to replace the wire. Within that time, you couldn't use those 5 shops because they were cashless shops. Everything was done through cards. So as soon as you take the Wi-Fi connection away, no one has the means to pay for anything, which is the bad side. So outage happens all the time. Power cuts happen all the time, especially in rural locations like where I live. So I always carry a little bit of money on me all the time, just in case that sort of thing happens. People will always be behind the actual requirements for job. I don't think we can avoid that in tech world. No, but I mean, the way that Asmongold basically describes it as, if you take away the rocks, then people can't break rocks to get you smaller rocks. So automating that job is taking the rocks away from people. We go to school based on what was needed 20 years ago. So by the time we have worked for 20 years, 40 years, well, yeah. And this is where, like, the school system needs to change. But your education should be like language, definitely. And then if you're interested in history or geography or anything like that, that should be something you should be in. That should be something you put yourself into. The problem with tech now is it is speeding up. It's speeding up too much. Even as a person who enjoys tech, it's getting to a point where it is taking over. Well, there we go. Anyways, I made my road. My wash plant's running. We're all good. I'm just lucky I found a job niche where it's more interesting and the more in IT without being an IT guy. That's good. For me, it was my job, which was working in a factory. I made diamond tip tools. So my job was cool. I liked my job. One of my favourite jobs that I enjoyed because I was away from people, and it took me nearly a whole day to do one, was when I was doing bandsaws. Bandsaws are, for most people, boring because you have to take like a 400-foot piece of metal that's only like 1.5 inches wide, and you have to tape up 2/3 of the blade, so 1/3 of it can be gritted. Boring as hell for every single person who ever did it, apart from me, because my brain would switch off and I would just tape up a blade. It would take me 5 hours, a 400-foot blade, and I'd be going up and down the warehouse on a chair. So I had an office chair, and it had wheels, concrete strip floor, so it was just a smooth floor. Literally, I could sit there and pull myself across the warehouse all day, up and down, and no one came and spoke to me because no one bothered with me. He's doing a bandsaw, he'll be alright. Don't worry about it. It's cool. That's how I liked it. Social life was lunchtime and going home time. I decided when I was at school many years ago I wanted to be in electronics. But yeah, I'm not all clued up on the technical side, but I am more happy building circuit boards all day, soldering. Yeah, and there you go. The problem is that's a manual job that a robot can do. So you're in it's a limited section. If that's your job and that's how you do it, that's okay. But that job can be automated, which takes away from you. Which is that's the reason why I don't like automating jobs or anything. It's fine. Sit in the corner in it. Before this, I worked in one of the major phone repair centres, fixing mobile phones. Nowadays, people don't want you to fix mobile phones. In the UK, it's not too bad, but in America, it's you haven't got a right to repair. They want more right to repair, and they're not willing to give it. I'm like, why not? Oh, well, because we can make money. It's like, people don't want to keep spending on your money. They're quite happy to try and repair things. Everything's about money. Everything. The sort of place where all the shops send the repairs. One of my mate's dads used to do that. He used to have his garage out the back of his house, and he used to repair TVs. That was it. That was his part-time job. And then where I used to work, his old man used to come round our way because he used to repair our timers. So he used to strip our bench off, take the benches off, which had all the timers, fix them all in our workshop, and then he'd have them all back up by the end of the day. He was a good bloke. Skoosh. Right, that's another 1 million. Yeah, dude. And then I can look at where I am in the leaderboard. But I don't think about how automation might take away. Oh, hold on. You make some good points. I'm an automation geek. Love automating at work and in games. But I don't. Yeah, you don't know how automation might take away jobs people actually. So this is the thing. If I can't remember the video. As I know, I keep saying it. Asmongold spoke about this in one of his vids. Obviously, it's one I've watched, so I'll have a look. If I can find it quickly, I will. Flop, that's Undertaker and Booker T. That's not that one. I don't know if it was a day or two ago. Companies suddenly no longer care about DEI. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I watched that one. I can't find it. I that's where I watched it. Basically, if you took like people who undergraduated from school, like myself, you know, I'm one of those people who I did average in school. I got 11.5 GCSEs, right? So I'm not a brain surgeon by any means. I took an extra 2 years to stay in school so I didn't have to go and get a job, because I knew my jobs would be working in the shop, because that was our local business that would guarantee take anybody on. So that was me. And so I stayed in school. I did an ICT course, I passed that as an NVQ, and I passed land and environment in an NVQ. Even though I had no reason to do an NVQ in land and environment, I was like, I need something to bolster my curriculum because I didn't want to go back to work. So I learned about sheep and pigs and chickens and how to do this, that and the other, which is why I talk about farming sim and I can talk about certain things, because I sort of know. But everything I took in school had no relevance to my life at all. I did art, drama and graphic design as my main 3 chosen subjects. Am I an artist? No. Well, I'm not bad at graphic design. Did I go into theatre afterwards, and did I go on to the West End? No. I took drama because it was a laugh and it was fun and I enjoyed just pissing around. All the other subjects I basically failed in. So my entire qualification line was, you're going to be working in shit dead-end jobs. Now, if you take those shit dead-end jobs and automate them to more, let's go into the realms of supermarkets just quick. Supermarkets automated checkout staff into self-service, so the customer doesn't need to talk to a staff member anymore. They don't need to employ the staff member anymore, so they get the customer to do the work that the staff member would do. The problem with this is that then you don't have the staff if someone becomes ill. So Brian, who might have a cold, goes into work, he's like, oh, I've got a chesty cough, and gets sent home early because he's just thrown up in aisle 4. So he's thrown up, but there's no one to cover him, because the people that would cover him would be the people who work on checkouts, but they're not there anymore because you just took them all out by putting in self-service checkouts. And some people started to revolt around this in the UK, and they started to have a go at companies for putting in too many self-service checkouts. They want the human interaction. They want people, and if you want to bring people into the workplace, they need somewhere to work. Now, if you take out the checkouts and put self-service in, the people who want to work can't work. You automated their job. Yes, it saves money from the big company who pays their CEOs and stuff millions upon millions in bonuses, but then the poor worker who would have been working now can't afford Christmas, or has to go and work do something else before that job gets automated. And that's why people say you should shop local, you should help out your local businesses, because local businesses haven't been automated. Butchers, hairdressers, shop workers, they're all here. Wow. Garth with the suck and cut from Wayne's World comes to mind. It sucks and it cuts, but this is how, I mean, I'm more than happy to push for technology and this, that and the other, but if you take away people's jobs, they can't afford to do anything. They get stuck on benefits, and benefits life sucks balls. As somebody who's on benefits, it sucks. You get bored. You can't do anything. You sit on your ass all day. Even when I was unemployed, I was bored shitless, because we'd moved to a different. We moved to Wales, and where I lived, there was nothing around me. I ended up getting lucky. I got a job in a call centre, and it was under things that I sort of knew about, which was good. But you could automate the phone lines to never have interaction with a person, and especially nowadays with AI, because what you would do now is you would get a phone reader to basically take the call down that turns it into a text to speech. The AI is reading that, sends back, it basically comes to a solution of what you're doing. You then take the AI and put the text into a text to speak, and then that text to speak could talk to the person on the other end of the phone, and you wouldn't need a phone operator. You could physically do that now. You might not be school smart, but you certainly think about things. This is a very, very valuable skill. Yeah, it's called like what is it? It's not logic thinking. It's I can't remember the actual term for it. No, it's not lateral thinking. I can't remember the term. Basically, the idea is you take a look at everything and you think of the variables, and you think of how it can affect somebody. Yeah, exactly. They won't think that far in advance. Joys of life, though. I mean, take YouTube for instance, and this is a prime example of how you can be a content creator without being an actual content creator. If you take Quibblecop, and I don't like the kid, he was an idiot, and I personally don't like his content. I thought he was a bit of a prat. Generally, a lot more words than word prat, but there you go. He decided to try and automate YouTube, and in fairness, if the experiments that he were trying were more successful, he could have done it. Like, no one would have told the difference at all. But AI was in a very early state when he tried to do this. So what he did was he took his entire channel, he ran it through an AI. So every single one of his videos, everything he did, he ran it through an AI and got the AI to generate his face. And his face was up in the top corner, like I'm here. Right, his face was in the game, in the video. Oh my God! Oh, look at this big chest! And it was his reactions to things that were happening in the game. So what he did was he was playing a video game, and he was getting AI to react to what he was doing. He trained the AI to react to what was going on the screen, which is, in fairness, really cool as an AI sort of like fan sort of thing. And then he took it to the next level. He then automated the gameplay. So he would get an AI to play Minecraft. And then, so what would happen is the AI would play Minecraft, and then that AI that was playing Minecraft would be reacting from what he was saying in the video, but that reaction was an AI. So he was literally using two AIs to make video content. And like I said, early stages, it was a bit crap. But that's taken it to the next level where you don't even have to be a content creator to make content. And there's a lot of channels out there now that do AI content where you can make this much money by doing this. You can literally do text to speak where you just type out a script and then carry on. Here's the next part. You can then go to ChatGPT, pay them 20 quid a month, get Chat to write the script for you, whack it through a text to speech program, and there you go, there's your content. And now you've just automated YouTube. No one has to be a creator. You just sit back and go, aha, now I'm bored. Because you're not putting the work in anymore. You just took yourself out of the market. And that's what businesses are doing now. They're automating jobs so people don't have jobs, but then they blame people for not being there. And then the people who have got a job fear for their job if it can be automated. It's the next get rid. Yeah, it happened about a year ago. Yeah. Well, the problem is it has made the internet more crap. It happened, and people started Mr. Beast. They were beastifying their videos, so they started just basically going off of his idea of a script and making content like him. Became lazy, which is why I like live streaming, because I'm here. I'm in front of you. You can talk to me. But yeah, that's how I see it. That's how I see the world. It's called critical thinking. That's the one. That's what I was thinking of. Critical thinking. But there's not many people who literally critical think anymore. Everyone just accepts what they see on social media as the next thing and be happy. Whereas you should be questioning things. You should be having a go at things. Yeah. But that's how I think about everything. I know it sounds like I cause my own problems, which partially I do. But if we continue down this road, the road's going to get very, very dark for people. And it'll be to a point where they'll go, well, we don't need this many people on the planet anymore because we've just automated all their jobs and people are just costing us more money. So what can we do with this? Well, we can turn them into Soylent Green. We got ourselves a meat market here. We could, we shouldn't be talking about this. Yeah, I know, but it's an option. Or you cull the population down to a more manageable figure where the robots have taken over to a point where they're automating the world, and there's like 10% of the population left. Yeah. Yeah. But that's the problem with the labour shortage in America. People don't want to work anymore because they're figuring out, mainly it's younger people, but they don't want to work anymore because of this, and they're like, okay, cool, we're not going to ask you to work anymore. What we'll do is we'll automate your job. Well, where am I supposed to work? Well, you didn't want to work. So how am I supposed to live? Well, there's your problem. And now look, we can now do assisted suicide in the UK. Yeah, I know, but it opens the doors for later on. Especially like, I'm 22, I'm chronically depressed, I've got nothing to live for. Step inside the booth, sir. 25p. No, but Futurama could be a thing soon. Yeah, there's a lot of slippery slopes. Ski slopes mainly. More people than work in several parts. Yeah, China. I feel sorry for the Chinese people because if you watch, I know it sounds bad, if you watch like Chinese propaganda videos where it's all hunky-dory, it's not. If you watch the like certain channels who like dig into China, there's a lot of poor people in China, and there's a lot of people who most Chinese people are on less money than you think they're on as well. It's just everything they can afford what they do in China, but it's very bad. But it's a lot of people in China are in that place where there's too many people and just not enough jobs. That's where you get like certain cultures that they've got where it's like if anything's going for free, they'll take it. In America, you've got businesses shutting down, like the Rust Belt, where they do all the main coal mining and stuff. That's an industry that's dying in Appalachia because of jobs being automated and not enough people wanting to actually do the job, even though it pays 80 to 100 grand a year. But it's a dangerous job. But there's not much of it now because mines got shut down or automated. So you lost a workforce. People don't live there anymore. It sucks. But that's just the modern world. And I think, unfortunately, I know people give like millennials a bad name, which is like the generation that I'm from. But as a millennial, and I'm sitting here watching this all sort of like cave around us, and I'm like, what's going to happen with the next gen? Next gen won't give a shit. And that's why so many people want to be influencers, because it doesn't involve getting an actual real job. And that's why, I know it sounds bad, but it's why I keep telling if young people come in here and go, I want to be a streamer, it's like, no you don't. You don't want this life. You think you want this life, but this life sucks. Until you're like Tim the Tap Man, but that's the 1%, you know. I want to be an Instagram model. Why do you think most of those Instagram models didn't get a glowing career as a model, so they became OnlyFans girls? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So, to put this into perspective, if you talk to Chinese students, like kids, and you ask them what they want to be in life, most of them will say like doctors, astronauts, and so on and so forth, because their parents like to push them in the right direction. Get a good job, study hard, this, that, and the other. In the UK, in more Western civilizations, we're seen as like, most people want to be a content creator or this, that, and the other because that's the life they're brought up into. But yeah, if you talk to Chinese students, most of them want to be something intelligent. They actually want to use themselves to be good at something. Most astronauts, by the way, used to be fighter pilots, so they have a lot of training from the like RAF and Marines and things like that. That's why in America, the more richer people in America are Asian, because they have determination to actually outperform. See, all the really useless facts I watch from, learn from watching things. Some of the richest people in America and most successful people in America are Asian people, because they have the drive to push further. Yeah, obviously, the other thing about Chinese people is they've got it in their heads that they have to succeed in something, or it's like the whole disappointment of family. I get it. But I think I would rather have that push than just be like, oh, don't worry, son or daughter, you can be an OnlyFans model. When your parents won't like you if you don't do a good job, it's not a great thing. No, but I think it gives you a better push to be successful or be better. Yeah, definitely. There has to be some balance. There has to be balance in everything for everything to work. So, if you put too much pressure on someone to do a good job, then that could drive them crazy. Then they will fail. But if you just say, look, if you do the best job you can, I'm still going to be happy with it. It's all good. That's what I say to my kids, even though my kids don't listen to me a lot of the time. My one thing that I say to them every single day before they go through the school gate is, please be better than me. That's my piece of advice to them. And if they can be better than me, they're doing better than what I did, which means they'll just be better. And that's good enough for me. What's more loving of a child, apologetic or apathy, or zero work ethic, or pushing them to succeed in whatever they do? The problem with that's where you need to find the balance. You need to explain to your child why being good, being better at stuff, is a good thing, but also at the same time you need to be more caring and nurturing. The problem with having 100% either way of the dial is that the results will vary too much and you'll have problems. So if you push your child too much, they might break. They'll melt down, their heads, they'll have mental breakdowns and everything. They'll just get to a point where they don't function anymore as a child. But if you don't push them enough and you're too soft and it's all, oh, don't worry, you'll be okay, here's a participation award, your child hasn't learned anything. They've just learned, oh, if I turn up then it's all good. I didn't have to put any work into this, I still got a trophy. So you have to find a middle balance. If you get a C in a job, that's good, but we might be able to try a little bit better next time. My point is, as an American in this society, we've swung for. Yeah, I saw that a lot going through. I know this is going to sound stupid, but I saw that a lot when you guys were going through the last election. I saw a lot of, when it came to the left being interviewed more, and you saw the kids that were in the left, it was almost like they were expecting everything to be given to them on a silver platter, and if that didn't agree with them, they'd throw a hissy fit and throw the toys out the pram. But then when you saw the kids on the other side, it's like, well, I grew up in this county, I just became a mechanic, and I work with my dad. I'm like, okay, cool, you're actually working, fair play to you. You actually got off your ass and did something. And you sort of saw like the more university students were like, almost a lot of them seemed like they were spoiled to a point, and it was too apathetic. And then when you saw the other kids who they were there to listen to a lecture on whatever, they would sit there and go, well, I have a job. I do this as well as going to school. I don't live. I do this for myself. This is what my mum told me. This is what my dad told me. I was like, that's the sort of person you need. You need somebody who's willing to put their foot in to actually do everything and actually go, this is how I was raised, and I'm going to try and make something of this and not expect it all. That's just what I saw from the election. So yeah, a lot of people don't know where to look. A lot of adult schools give free classes, specialised training. For most people, don't even know. Yeah, for the UK, it's more. We've got like, I don't know if you're in the UK. If you are, then you'll know about this. Like the Open University, you can take university courses all the way through your adult life. It costs you money, but you can get a grant. You can get grants to do further education, which does help. You know, I mean, from my perspective, if I wanted to, I could self-educate myself into being an electrician. My problem is that I can't do it because I'm a full-time carer for my wife. So I can't have a full-time job because I'm a carer. Yeah, it's a weird little spectrum to be in. You have to try and get both sides of the argument into one thing, and I think that's where not pushing kids, even myself, if you're not pushed in the right direction, or even if you're just not like shown the right direction, you don't know where you're going in life. So my parents always said, look, if you want something in life, you have to go out and do it yourself. Yeah, and that was like, okay, that lived with me, because that's how I did things anyway. It's how I moved out. It's how that mentality was like, I'm moving out because I'm doing this. But it like nowadays, parents would be like, oh well, you know, I mean, we'll try and do this for you. We'll try and do that for you. It's like, you try not to do anything for them, because they have to learn. You have to learn how to do things yourself. I mean, if you get given something on a silver platter and like, oh yeah, this is how you do it, then you'll never learn how to get it yourself, if that makes any sense. You're training to be an electrician. That's good. My friend, he was 30. How old was Sonic when he trained? I think he was 35. And he went in. He basically got bored of working in his job. He self-trained to be an electrician. He's now. I mean, he says that he's overqualified. So he does like he gets paid quite a bit now to do his job. Electrician's a good job. And I don't think there's going to be any way of automating that job, so you should be safe. Not off the top of my head, I don't think so. Unless they start building robots that can actually do stuff like that. I think you're safe. I think you'll be okay. But yeah, it's what you've just heard is how I see the world. You know, my kids are at times they can be difficult because they just like to mess around, and the worst part is I see that's how I was. So the difference is they're actually smart. They're intelligent kids. Like every time I speak to their teachers, see their work, they're bang on. Apart from like Logan can't write. He's left-handed, but he rushes his writing too much. He will get there eventually. Ollie, at the moment, he seems to be more distracted by his friends and they keep fighting. But that's just because he's got an older brother and he fights with him a lot. because he's an idiot, and he's 6. But when I talk to their teachers about how they're doing in school, there's nothing wrong with them. They're doing good. And the plus side to it is that one of my kids is now so far past the reading level, they have to make him free read, which means he goes to the library and chooses his own book to read. They can't teach him anymore in the curriculum in the school. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm proud of this. This is really good. He's a 2 higher reading level, and that made me proud. I was like, excellent. He's further down the road than I am. And then the next minute, he's sticking fucking cotton wool up his nose. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. So, yeah, you can't. And that just goes to show in life, isn't it? It's like you can hope that they're going to be better than you, but there's sometimes they're like, Dad, I'm just going to do this, and you're probably going to be upset with me. You know, it's a little bit annoying. But I'm hoping that when they go through into like secondary school, because at the moment they're in primary, when they get to secondary school, I hope that they just do better than me. That's the only thing I can hope for, because if not, it's a tough road. And I don't want them to work in a supermarket unless it's their Sunday job, you know, and they're 18 years old sort of thing, and it's like, I'm at college and university, I need to work somewhere. That's fine. I love how Mark Twain said it, and I'm paraphrasing. When I was 18, I thought my dad was an idiot. When I was 25, I was shocked of how much he had learned in 7 years. Yeah. And it's the truth. You know, I'm not. I said I know I'm not like the greatest role model in the world, and I know I'm not the smartest person in the world. But I just tried to hope that people do better than me. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I can hope. And then when I know when younger kids come in here and they, you know, I mean, over my time in here, I've had a couple of like younger people like join the chat. Like one of them was Fincredible, the other one's Ben Swadling, and there's been a few others. But Fincredible, I started talking to him when he was 15 years old. We were in the Nick Nimmin group and we were talking about how to grow a YouTube channel. And I sat there and spoke to him. I said, why are you doing this? And he goes, he just wanted to make content. He wanted this. I said, okay, cool. So what are you going to do in a couple of years' time? He goes, well, I don't know. I might be in like college or university or something. I said, so okay, why are you doing YouTube? And it was like, if you focused on your life first, get the qualifications you need and so on and so forth, and that would be a better life for you to have, because it'd be something you're going to enjoy. That's not going to cause you to spack out and have a problem, maybe mental breakdown, that sort of thing. And he's now in his, I think Finn's in his 3rd year of uni now, maybe 2nd, and he's going on to be a qualified games developer. Like, he's been here, he's spoken in chat, and that's his life. I gave him his first computer because someone believed in me, who gave me one of his paychecks during the COVID time in America. And he came in here, he donated his money to me, and he said, look, buy yourself a new computer, get yourself sorted, and then do good to someone else. So I bought myself a new computer, and thanks to him I've been able to keep this stuff going, which is nice. My old computer I fixed up, I sent to Finn, I said, have this, you need this more than I do, take it, use it. So what he did is he used it in his 1st year in college, he fixed it up, and he passed it on to somebody else who needed it. So then my computer's gone through a couple of other people, it's been fixed up, it worked, and it's helping other people. So I helped him get his first actual computer where he could do this, and that's where he's been. Ben Swadling is a 14-year-old kid, he comes in here sometimes and he talks, but when other kids have been in here, they're like, oh, I want to do this, it's like, are you really sure? Because this can really screw you up. And that I'm learning from what I've done. And you learn from your lessons. If you can help somebody, even if it's just one person, if you can help somebody make a better choice and a better life, then you become better yourself, because you're finally seeing the payoff for who you are. It's not all about owning the most amount of money. It's not about having all of the stuff in the world. It's about making your life worth it and hoping that you can help somebody else. That's it. Because at the end of the day, we all end up in the same bloody bit of ground. We all end up in a crematorium. We all end up as a tree, because you can now be a tree. I was explaining that to my kids. You can have an ecopod and they can grow a tree of you. But at the end of the day, we're all going out the same way. It's just how you're going to get there. And if you can make somebody else's life better, then do it. If you can give them a little bit more hope, do it. Because that's what we're here for. Stop thinking about yourself. Start thinking about the other people around you. Start thinking about how actions help everybody else. I hear a billionaire say this once: the true measure of success in life is not the things you own, it's the number of people that are better off because of how you live. Yeah, in a lot of cases that's true. And I know people shit on Jeff Bezos because of Amazon and how he runs the company and everything else. But without Amazon, all those people who work for Jeff Bezos wouldn't have a job. So even he's doing something. I mean, yeah, he doesn't. I think like a warehouse operator in America gets paid $16 an hour, which isn't bad of a wage. But even those people there are better off because he gave them a job. Even if you don't like his practices, still a job and still helping people actually have money. In certain cases, that is. So yeah, that's just me. And now I'm going to go to bed because it's midnight and now I've got a long day tomorrow and it's going to be fun. So if you have enjoyed this stream and you enjoyed the chat with me and Split, hit the like, subscribe and notification button below for all other updates. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah, I'll catch you all later. I'm going to say peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do, and have a great rest of your time. Ah, boom. Fist bump to you.